up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going, Celtic Warrior Damon?
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome, come on in to the dive bar of the IWC. That's right, step right up and check out our specials. Guys, I'm at Ref Marsh. We are at WOTR, the show. With me today, as always, Miss Amanda Jane. Say hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I got distracted there. I just got an alert from our very own friend of the show, number one fan, literally the first, not the biggest, well, largest. So, well, it looks like Stam Stackhouse has some good news coming up. So anybody who's going to be in Vegas this coming up Friday might want to keep an eye out. Guys, with us today, taking the place of Clump in more ways than one, is the Don of our side of the IWC, the curator of our side of the IWC. Say hello to Justin Time. What's up, Justin?
What's up, everybody? Episode 1 again.
Yeah. Good to have you back for episode 1.
Always happy
Always
to be
good
here.
to debut on the first episode.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a wrestling debut. Gotta make it count.
Well, I don't know. As long as there's not bad pyro and your entrance music is pretty banging, then that's a good debut. If not,
Unless you're like Rhea Ripley or freaking Ryback.
yeah,
And you have non-pyro. You just have sound effects.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, those are good.
Or you can crawl on the floor and spit blood out like what's her face? Abaddon. Oh,
Yeah.
No, I don't know who. Tony must have been high when he signed her.
I only give her props because she sticks to character, and that's
She
it.
does. I think she does.
Right.
I was impressed with her on was it BTE, I think, or one of those, somebody's vlog where she was totally in character. I was very impressed with that.
Yeah, that's good.
I was like, interesting.
That is good. Yeah, I believe she's actually a demon from hell. I don't think that it's campy at all. Guys, let's start with what's in your glass. I'm going to start with Justin. What do you got there, Justin? What's in your glass? What are you drinking?
I have got like numerous bottles of water right now.
Bottoms up.
It was a hot day today, so
Keep hydrated.
we're gonna freaking just drench in water today.
Sounds good. Guys, it's not about what you're drinking. It's about who you're drinking with, and we are glad for everyone who is our drinking buddy, no matter what's in your glass. Amanda, what are you drinking today? What's in your glass?
Well, I had to, because if you guys watched on NXT this week, oh my God, I freaked out during the Cameron Grimes LA Night promo, because what was sitting there, it was my sponsored, not sponsored. And I was so excited. So I had to get it today, of course. And since today's been really crappy, I put about maybe this much of vodka in it. It'll be fine.
Me and my brother literally said that as soon as we saw the Sonic sitting there. We were like, Amanda.
Sponsored, not sponsored. Yes. I'm going to at them at some point. I want to try to get them to give us a sponsorship, because I will gladly go like this the whole time, and sip and with my Sonic cup. So
flash it in front of the screen and she'll be like, look,
Yeah.
sponsor me.
a ticker. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was a personal dig at us specifically seeing so many segments sponsored by Sonic on NXT. I was like, those motherfuckers.
Well, the most
I don't
personal
wanna say
thing was, but that segment with Cameron Grimes as the butler and LA Knight, I'm like, are you guys really trolling me?
There was
Go
that one
away.
and the main event with Pete Dunne. Prove me wrong.
Bro, prove me wrong.
Yeah. I am having vodka with sparkling water because I need to also stay hydrated, but I got a lot of reasons to drink. I'm gonna be honest with you. This week in wrestling, when it comes to AEW and NXT, gave me plenty to drink about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say from both shows, I had a lot of yelling at the TV and hanging my head in shame. So we'll see what you guys thought about everything. This week to me was a rough one. Justin, did you get the chance to check out? I don't remember. Were you checking out when me and Amanda met up this weekend and had a buyback?
Yes. I didn't get to catch his. I didn't catch his live. I had to watch it the next day because I wasn't home. So I watched it. So I watched it the next day, and then I listened to the episode all over again.
Thoughts on the topic?
Oh God.
Yeah. I know.
I don't even really know what to say about it really anymore. Like, I'm so freaking confused because there's so many conflicting reports about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Like, I have no like set idea on what the hell's going on anymore.
Yeah.
There's just so much happening.
I think it's very clear that nobody has any idea what the hell's going on. With all the reports that come out all the time about everything, we did have Keith Lee come out today and explain why he's been off TV, despite all of the consistent reporting we've had done from everybody not associated with the company, all the reports from the dirt sheets who definitely know what's going on, all the insiders definitely know that Vince McMahon has it out for him, that Mia Yim did something, all the fucking bullshit. Keith Lee came out today and said, you guys are all walking around with your head up your ass. You want to talk about blind leading the blind? It's head up the ass leading the head up the ass. Let me give you a quick breakdown. Somebody here, I'll give him credit. Strike_gently, the big dog, made a comment on the video that Keith Lee put out that broke down a few bullet points, sentences from the video clip to give you a full idea of what the whole video said. So I'm going to read some of that real quick. Keith Lee said he came back for one match after having COVID. Said that he got a call the next day saying something was, quote, off in his blood. Was told it was inflammation of the heart. Wasn't allowed any training or physical activity outside of a light walk. Anything other than that, and, quote, there was a chance I could just pass away.
Oh, my.
That's scary.
He had several MRIs on his heart. Says he didn't fit in the machines. Said that it became a fight against death. WWE sent him to Pittsburgh to get tested. Almost had to undergo genetic testing. The long wait allowed the inflammation of the heart to go down, returning to normal. Over time, things got better here and there, he said. Was cleared after that visit to try to, quote, get back into some sort of better shape. And he said, quote, we fought death. I don't mind fighting anyone else. So kind of a lot going on there, but all the speculation, he doesn't work like a big man and all that bullshit really boils down to he'd contracted some COVID, and then the medical doctors at WWE flagged him for finding a heart condition. And Amanda, you talked about it before on Shotzi Blackheart. She was on Tough Enough. Both her and Beth Phoenix, I believe, were removed from Tough Enough because of similar instances of finding a heart condition during WWE medical evaluation. Before I get your take on it, I do want to put out there that Will Mahoney on Twitter did put out this tweet, and I thought that it was poignant. He said, WWE's medical team catching the irregularities in Keith Lee's blood work and getting him to doctors in Pittsburgh to sort things out should be applauded. In another era, this kind of thing may not have been noticed at all. This is a success for the wellness program.
Definitely.
Yeah. But how crazy, how scary, how terrible, and how unnecessary are all the dirt sheets.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I block them all
you know. That's why you what?
That's why I block them all now.
Yeah.
So I don't really even want to deal with them anymore.
I mean,
plus, I don't really have to really see them anyway because 90% of the people on my timeline talk about everything that they freaking post anyway.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, is it really that difficult to just not talk about something if you don't fucking know?
Well, no, apparently. But, that's the IWC. And then, when they get schooled or something else, they're like, oh okay. Let's backpedal. So I'm just like,
or they
whatever.
just ignore it. They pretend they didn't say it. I didn't see a bunch of backpedaling here. I didn't see a bunch of backpedaling with some of the other ones. I don't see They say the shit. They cause a stir. They get their clicks, and then someone comes out and says what actually happened, and they go, "Oh, that's old news. We've moved on, and we're not even talking about that anymore." And you're all like, "Okay, it's not old news. It was not real news. It was made up shit." So
Yeah.
I just think that there's a responsibility to do better and be better and report on what you know and not what you think. You know what I mean? Or present it that way, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, just present it. You know what I mean? Like, you put journalist in quotes because you know it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I'm so happy for Keith Lee that he's doing better, that they found it.
Mhm.
Amanda, what do you think about all of it?
Well, you know, it's a nice thing to find out about Keith Lee, because at first I thought, of course, oh shit, they're in the doghouse, because we know how that goes, you know. But I just kind of, I feel like, because he was part of that whole movement to basically I call it raping the indies. I'm sorry, that's a horrible word to say, but it's true, because they basically took everyone, you know, from here, there, and everywhere. And now there's this mass exodus of a lot of them with like, no, yeah, you can go. And I think it really started around, I think the first one of the big significant ones, I think, was when ACH, or his slave name, Jordan Miles, was released. And that one, I'm like, that's a damn shame, because he's such a good wrestler and a good person and everything. And, you know, who knows? I mean, that's just a weird thing. And of course, we all know that they're so high on big people, but we'll get to that later in NXT. But I don't know. It's like it's a game. And I don't know. It's getting old.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with Keith Lee having a heart condition. To be honest. Just anything you want to say on it?
I mean, it's scary. Could you imagine if we had seen that report and he didn't make it? My God, that would have been the most horrific thing ever. Like, it's so good that they actually caught it. And everybody that was always talking about Keith Lee every time about, oh, Vince just doesn't like him, or just he was apparently in a trademark battle for his name and all that crap. And it's just like, he always kept coming out saying that he's going to tell us. And they finally felt like now was the time to tell us. And it's just scary to think of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really
And
scary.
he's pretty young too. I mean, but I don't know. But that's, you know, I think in this age, I think that there's a couple of people, or actually almost anybody, I think, if they passed some, you know, somehow, especially if it's like medically, you know, like it's sad. It's going to be sad. And that, you know, finding that out, at least when he's alive, is a little bit better. It doesn't make it easier, but it's kind of like, damn.
Yeah, and he didn't have to tell anybody any of that. He could have told everyone to just, you know, mind their business on it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, you think about Brody's story and how that was such a blindsided thing, and he was off TV for like 3 months, and we didn't speculate heavily, but we kept asking, where's Brody? Where's Brody? Like, Dark Order's doing all this stuff. We haven't seen or heard from Brody. What's going on here? And then one day it's just, he's gone. And it was like, you got to be fucking out of your mind. Like, what?
That one hurt.
So I can only imagine, if something else would happen, that'd be terrible. So I don't know. It just goes to show that maybe we got to stop making up stuff, because people were making up stuff about Brody at the time too. All the dirt sheets want to get away from that. They want to pretend that didn't happen, but it did. So I don't know. You just don't know what's going on with these guys, and you can't just assume that you know what it is because you've heard so many stories about Vince being evil because you're a mark and you got worked by the 90s, and you believe that that's really what Vince McMahon is like in real life. So every time something happens, you just want to write up a report real quick and say, well, Vince McMahon thinks this and that and does things this way because that's how I know Vince to be from all my years of working with him. Like, get out of here. So, yeah. Maybe we can all relax with some of that stuff and just wish people to come back speedily, you know? So it does mean that it's exciting for Keith Lee to be back now. Knowing all that, that means that we probably haven't seen the last of Keith Lee now, and there's a good chance that maybe we can get a cool story out of him. He was definitely on the up and up, and maybe what they did with these couple little matches here and there was just to kind of ease him into it a little bit. And how are you feeling, boss? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's cool. I think that it's cool that he's back.
Or not even use him at all.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's that. Who knows? They have these random releases, and you never know who's on it, for what reason or why. And yeah, there's always that fear. Let's see. Well, let's go through some of these things. Let's do a quick cheers to Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano. They're having a baby. They seem happy about it, so I believe they want it.
Yay!
So congratulations to the LeRaes, Mr. and Mrs. LeRae.
Yeah, that'll be baby wrestling.
Yes.
I'm waiting for that shirt to drop.
That would be hysterical if they
And
did.
I can see them right now dressing that little baby as what's his face?
Dexter?
Goku or
Dexter.
Oh no.
God, that baby comes out with just eyes looking like this, just looking at them.
Mustache.
Terrifying.
They're probably going to put that baby, make it look like Simba or some shit.
No, that baby's gonna look like, I don't know.
Disney nerds. It's gonna be like
The
Simba.
little baby in the what's that one? The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
They're gonna do that
God.
too.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing that one too, yeah. No doubt about
That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
Jack.
Cheers to them.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Ember Moon was pulled from this week's NXT because she's injured again. And that's nerve-wracking, man. She's getting injured a lot, I feel like.
That
I like her a
sucks.
lot. You know?
I'm all over the place today.
What? What do you think about Ember being injured, Justin?
It sucks. It's like, I don't want to say she's injury prone, but my God, it seems like every time we get her back, she's getting injured again. And that's not, it sucks, like really badly. So that Soray match I was looking forward to a lot.
Yeah, I thought that'd be cool. And it's already a bummer enough that she just lost her best friend and tag team partner, Shotzi.
Right.
It's not a big secret that they were actually really close friends. If you go to the WWE PC YouTube channel, there's a video on there called Ember's Law about Ember coming back, and it's almost entirely about her friendship with Shotzi. So they're really close, and so for Shotzi to get the call up to SmackDown and be on the road away from Ember, and Ember to be suddenly on her own again, and if you watch that Ember's Law PC thing, I think also you'll get an idea of how much this could negatively affect Ember's
This device is ready for
mood.
Just install
You know what I mean?
the Alexa app and follow the instructions.
What's going on over there? Who's Alexa that I just
I hear that too.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Hearing voices. Apparently we're Randy Orton now. We're hearing other voices.
Oh yeah.
No, I usually use my Dot
Okay.
as my speaker. So I was trying to pair it with my new work laptop, but it's not having.
Okay.
It's not having any of that.
No,
right.
let me try something here. I'll mute it.
We're gonna hit the YouTube chat right now, real quick.
Yeah, so TW Takes Podcast said,
good
what's
show.
up? Good to see my friends. I did not watch AEW, so I'll be listening along. If not tonight, definitely on the podcast. And Titantron says, hello, hello, hello.
Oh, Titan.
Titantron says, to be honest, I don't think this week was as bad as last week. Good God, last week was fucking rough for wrestling, lol.
Yep.
Titantron says, can't believe some clown reporters thought his absence was a work, and they publicly said it was, shake my head. And I block them all too. Meltzer, SRS, Zarian, WrestleVotes, block them all. Can't take it anymore. That's
I think the only one I haven't blocked is Wrestling Inc., but I refuse to block them because I show support for Pro Wrestling for Life. And I'm not doing that to Nick Housen.
Yeah. Between you and me, I had to unblock them when I started working on the show.
Plus,
Or
I don't
you
really
like
see a
me.
lot of them on my timeline, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or be like me, where I don't follow any of those motherfuckers. And when I see it on my timeline, I'm like, what the fuck? You guys.
they're all blocked on mine.
Yeah.
So every
I'm
time
like,
someone talks
sometimes-
about them,
Sometimes I know more than some of these guys know.
Yeah. I think
That's
a lot
a
of times,
damn
I will
shame
say that
because-
Wrestling Inc. does try harder than other sites, I think,
They do.
to be unbiased. Like, they do try to show support to all sides. And I think other ones are heavily biased. And I do think that I can appreciate that Wrestling Inc. tries as they might, even though some people there may be swayed one or the other. They do talk very positively of all shows and try not to knock things if they don't have quotes. So, so that's one of the reasons why it wasn't the worst on block. But yeah, I do appreciate them as well. But some of the other stuff I don't really remember if there's anything bringing up. But yeah, having a baby. Let's go with, or anything else you guys want to say about Ember or anything?
It's
just
just
hopefully
sad.
it's not. Hopefully, it's not anything too serious.
Yeah. Hopefully she's back soon. Let's hit this one too real quick. Brian Knobs of the Nasty Boys is in the hospital. If you go to our Twitter at WOTR The Show, we did retweet their GoFundMe donation link, but he's in a bad way and looking for some help. And there's been a lot of outpouring of love from the wrestling community there, and I just wanted to throw that out there. I remember growing up and just thinking the Nasty Boys were like the coolest fucking tag team. They were one of my favorite parts of WCW during that era. Yeah, Natty was talking about their relationship with Jim at the Anvil Neidhart. I don't know, anything you guys want to say about any of that?
Just a moment while this device
I hope he gets better. Like, I hope it's not
connecting to the internet.
like the only thing I saw was that it's really bad. Like, it's bad, and that's
Your echo
again,
is-
that would suck to see another legend go down.
Yeah, for sure. Amanda, if you're going to continue to mess with that, Alexa, just mute
It's,
yourself
I know
real
I
quick.
keep pausing it and it's like,
Alexa,
all right.
quiet.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
Fuck it.
But yeah, so get well to Brian Knobs. Anybody who can help, please help. So, let me see. Oh, he said he'd. I mean, I guess we'll get to it. We'll get to it in just a second. One more thing, because we are talking about dirt sheets and how amazing they all are. I did want to throw out there that the VAB, the trade group representing the ad sales efforts of the TV networks, have called for Nielsen's accreditation to be revoked by the MRC, citing that Nielsen's diminished ability to count viewership during the corona pandemic. We've been talking about it a bunch. We talk about how we mention ratings, but we don't really dive into ratings. We just think it's kind of an interesting marker. But we've mentioned it a bunch of times because I don't think people get it, that Nielsen is not the only marker of viewership, and it's not entirely accurate to begin with.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's a whole TV industry right now that are trying to get Nielsen's basically shut down because they're like, you guys are that level of garbage. To me, because remember we were reading about it, the NBC, which is also funny and ironic because we've been talking about that, our conspiracy theory involving NBC Universal, that they put out when the Rock show Young Rock came out, that the ratings came out, and then it was immediately followed by a paragraph. They cited the ratings and then had a paragraph about how unreliable the ratings were and how much it didn't mean what it used to mean. So they almost had to say, this is what it is, but here's why you shouldn't give a shit anyways. And we're like, that's fascinating. They're saying about this about sitcoms. Because the wrestling world, the Meltzers and such, are going, nope, this is it. This is the end all be all. This is everything. And then we found out in some interviews that Tony Khan bases his entire booking around the Nielsen ratings. That he looks at every quarter hour. Yeah. They said that he looks at every quarter hour, and depending on the ratings of the quarter hour and what's on is who gets more or less TV time the following week. So the idea of the Nielsen ratings potentially going away is also kind of like, well, I wonder if we'll see shifts or if he's just going to ride with the tide or go to Twitter or something, you know? But I love it. What do you think will happen if the Nielsen's go away? I think it's the best possible thing that can happen to wrestling is if the ratings just disappear from the conversation altogether.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think the IWC, this is a topic because it's kind of bland and generic that no one really understands, that they can latch onto, and that's why they argue about it all the time. And I think it's stupid. It's funny. It's like, if you want to argue about something, let's argue about right now who is the best wrestler in the world. It is not fucking Ocean Spray, okay, people? Get over it. It is not Ocean Spray. Right now, I think the best wrestler in the world right now, or he's actually pretty up and coming, I would probably put him on that pedestal right now, Lee Moriarty.
Hey.
Good. He's really
He's
good.
something special.
He is
He had a
excellent.
great interview with Sam Roberts not that long ago too. It'd be worth looking.
Oh,
up
yeah.
for you, Amanda.
Yeah, nice guy. I'm sad that I can't go tomorrow to West Coast Pro
Yeah.
because I wanted to see not only just I want to see, Carl Fredericks wrestle, but we got Rocky Romero tomorrow, and I'm like, oh
That's
Damn.
cool.
damn,
That's
can't
cool.
see Rocky. Yeah.
Justin, what do you think about the idea of the Nielsen ratings going away?
I hope they do, because I don't understand why people are talking about them like they're such a freaking big deal. Like, unless the freaking networks come out and say, hey, everybody talks about ratings, we'll send you a check. Like,
It'd be for $1.
what the fuck is like, who actually gives a shit about the ratings?
Yeah.
Like,
Ad
no one.
revenue doesn't roll to the fan base, I can tell you that.
Mhm.
The other thing
Right.
that I find really interesting, what was it? Oh my god. Justin, what were you saying?
I don't say nothing.
Oh my god. It's all gone. My brain just did a reset, dude.
Oh, wow, your
So
brain had a
brutal.
freaking absolute shutdown there.
Just an absolute shutdown. Kuro's in the chat. He does say WOTR ratings is 190 billion viewers a week. I think that's true. And Kuro says he has news. He's engaged. Cheers to Kuro
Hey,
On
cheers,
the-
Kuro.
on the nuptials. I don't know if engagement has nuptials. I'm not familiar with nups.
Mazel tov. Woohoo.
Mm.
I'll drink again.
But cheers to you. So you got some YouTube chat?
Tron, any Lee Moriarty match recommendations? I need to start watching his stuff more often.
Amanda, Lee Moriarty matches. What's the best ones? Go.
Oh gosh, damn, there's so many good ones. I mean, honestly, lately, anything I've seen him do in JCW, it's pretty solid.
It's one with AJ Gray recently was pretty
Yeah,
good.
that too. I mean,
Which one?
so those are what I would check out to start with.
What was the
Maybe.
match Justin was trying to say?
The one with AJ Gray recently at the
Okay.
No Signal in the Hills.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
I love
that was
That was a
fantastic.
great show.
Yeah, my friends. Oh, I wanted to go so bad. A lot of my friends were there. So, but that match was great. Love AJ. Yeah, AJ's there tomorrow too. God damn it.
Yeah.
I hate
Damn.
work. I hate adulting. Just so you guys know, I don't like adulting.
I will say that the talk about ratings to me feels like the comeback of the mullet. It's a ironically nostalgic thing where it's all like, oh, look how cool I am because I recognize how cool the mullet was. And there was a generation between the mullets that went, no, it's disgusting and looks horrible, and a generation before it. So now people ironically have mullets because they think that it's clever and funny. And that's how I feel about Nielsen ratings, is people remember hearing about the ratings. They listen to podcasts like 83 Weeks where they talk about how important it was because it was their only metric at all. And so people are all like, oh, we should talk about the ratings because they used to talk about ratings. And you're like, it doesn't mean what you think it means. It's like when you keep screaming inconceivable. Keep on using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
I feel that way about bodysuits. They were not fun growing up. I don't know why they're back. What? If we're talking about mullets and horrible things,
Okay, but
I'm
mullets
going-
are prevalent in wrestling.
I agree with that bodysuit thing,
Oh.
but the
See?
mullet thing, no.
Amanda's with me. Thank you.
I really think. No, the mullet thing. I mean, you've got levels of mullet, okay? You've got
All
Pillman Jr., who lets it go. And then you have that stupid, I don't know, Jason Mraz wannabe mullet. It looks like he's
Yeah.
wearing a wet Davy Crockett hat. I thought that last when I watched NXT this week, I was like,
Yeah.
that's what that is, and it kind of annoyed me.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
why.
a limp mohawk almost.
I don't know what the heck it is, but it's not I don't know what he was trying to do or whoever cut his hair, but no.
Yeah, and there's no good mullet. I've never seen a mullet and thought that's a fine looking haircut.
You had a mullet.
As a joke to make people mad. I did it as a rib. I did it to make people upset, and it worked.
Yeah, right.
I forgot.
You did it to make people upset at work.
No, actually,
No.
now I remember why he had it. Actually, it was his sister.
It was my sister was getting married, and I hadn't seen her in like 2 years. So I showed up to the reception with a disgusting mullet. Which, by the way, as my stylist is giving me the mullet, she's also working at one of those salons. It was like a friend who was going through one of those courses. And so I was like, yeah, I'll have them do it. They'll learn how to do some haircuts and stuff and all this, right? So as she's giving me the mullet, she gets pulled aside like 3 times and keeps coming back laughing. And she goes, people keep saying like it's starting to look an awful lot like a mullet. And I have to keep telling them that's exactly what we're going for. And they're like, are you sure? And then they said things like, he knows he has to pay for this. Like, it was like a whole thing where they were really concerned that a mullet was happening in their salon because that's how terrible they all are. And yeah, and I showed up to my sister's reception with a fucking disgusting mullet. She sees me, the sun's behind me because the timing of it was just perfect. The sun's going down. So as I'm walking up, she's like, oh, hey. And she starts going like this, kind of hand over the brow, squinting her eyes. She says, is that a mullet? And then her now husband just goes all like, yeah, fuck yeah, mullet.
And Marsh just kind of does a profile, and you see it in all
Yeah.
its disgusting glory.
Wow.
I still want to know how you came up with mullet equals I need to go to reception with this.
Because I knew it would upset her, because she knew that a bunch of really nice pictures were going to have to be taken the next day. But what I did do is I had booked my stylist back to back. So I went back the next morning, got it into a nice haircut, showed up for the wedding without the mullet, and she just about had a heart attack with excitement. Because like when she was there, she goes, okay, yeah, no, it's pretty good. And then when I showed up without the mullet, she's like, oh God, thank God. Oh my God. So,
Love it.
so yeah, I had a mullet to upset people, and it worked. It's an ironic thing to do. It's not because it's a good look.
TW Takes podcast is in our YouTube chat saying, so is this episode titled Mullets and Bodysuits?
Mullets and bodysuits. I'm writing it down right now.
It could be titled, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Mullets and bodysuits. Bodysuits.
I don't know. Like,
There we go.
when I think of bodysuits and wrestling and wrestlers,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who
I wish you wouldn't.
has kind of like a bodysuit-esque kind of, I don't know.
I wish you
Singlet
wouldn't.
is not a bodysuit.
It's not the same. Prove
No.
me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. There will be none of that.
We do not have any other news. Right before we get an AEW, let's not forget that Flow State Coffee is specialty grade coffee with L-theanine and raw cacao for productivity and creativity. Gives you better energy, focus, and mood than a regular cup of coffee while decreasing negative side effects like anxiety and blood pressure, and it works as fuck. I get pissed every time I'm out of a bag, but you don't have to because you can sign up for a subscription, get a new bag every week at newwave.co. That's NOOWAVE.co. Use the promo code CHEERS to get an additional 10% off the first bag in your subscription, and make sure you are never out of New Wave like I have frustratingly become because I don't do things right. It's all right. It's only my first coffee. Every coffee is my first coffee here on Wrestling on the Rocks. So, guys, check it out. You guys want to get into AEW?
Sure.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, that was my level of excitement. I tried to watch it. I watched all the way to the main event with the sound off. Never found the need to turn the sound on, and did not find the need to go back and watch anything again. I did look on their Instagram to see if the Malachi Black video had made it to there, because that was the only thing that piqued my interest at all, and it was not.
Do you know, I was like, you're kidding me. That was like totally worth having the sound on for that. That
I thought I
again,
would see it
I'm
on Instagram. And then they didn't put it on Instagram, so fuck it. I'm not going to go
Did
out
they
of
put it
my
on
way
their
to try and
Twitter?
find it.
Did they put it on
Fucking
Twitter?
No, I wasn't going to their Twitter. I went to their Instagram. That's where they post videos.
No, they don't always.
That's where I
post
watch every
everything.
promo. Every
No.
promo they ever do, I watch. You know what video is always on every week? Everything the Young Bucks do and everything Kenny
Well,
does.
duh, they're EVPs of that company.
Right.
Duh.
So now they actually have something that's so much better than what they're doing, and they're not even posting it, is my point. The one thing I thought, this looks fucking phenomenal, I gotta watch it, they didn't even put it on their social medias. So fuck them. I'm not gonna go out of my way. I'm just not. So for me, personally, there was nothing to me redeeming about the show that I gave too many cares about outside of Malachi Black, who seems to be doing some of the best work that he's been able to do in quite a long time, which is fantastic. So I'm going to let you guys talk about AEW because I'm hoping you guys at least enjoyed some of it. I'll start with Justin. Did you enjoy any of it?
It was like a 50-50 show for me.
Okay.
It had some good stuff, had some bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
A la All Out main event announcement.
Yeah.
Very, very lackluster. Very.
And the second announcement. But
Yes, so
We'll get into
stupid.
it. Talk about what you want to talk about. Let's start with Justin. What do you want to talk about that happened on Dynamite?
Should we just start right off with the
Look, I'll tell
Christian
you right
stuff?
now,
I guess.
I'm not going through this segment by segment. So you
No.
guys just talk about what you want to talk about, and I'll scroll through and look at a list of the segments. And if there's something I think you guys missed that seemed notable, I'll say it. But outside of that, hey man, this is about what you got out of watching it. What do you, if that's what's on top of your mind, hit it. I don't care what order it came in.
To me, there really wasn't like a lot crazy about the show that really stuck out outside of the beginning tag match, which was really freaking fun, and that was really about it for me for the show.
Mhm.
Like the beginning tag match was so much fun because Dante Martin shined. Like
oh yeah.
I loved it. I was so happy, and then it was just like the rest of the show was just for me. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Had no care for it really.
And that's why you want to book the show. You want to start out strong and get weaker as you go until it completely flatlines. That's the way to leave. That's how we do it. They're booking like Wrestling on the Rocks now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
they're all drinking too.
You know what? They need to they need to, stop trolling us, everybody on, those two shows. They troll us. I swear to God. You wouldn't have seen sponsored, not sponsored on there. Big troll. Because it was the cup. It was this cup. It wasn't like, oh, I'm eating like tots. No, it was a damn cup like this.
They had the logo flashing right at the camera.
Flashing right there.
Right. Still talking
They're
about
like,
AEW.
hey, go get this while we show you the $1 million title.
Yeah, and and I sat there when I was doing it like,
Definitely
oh,
still
why do
talking
I
about
want a
AEW.
slush right now? And then I said, wait a minute, they're closed. Fuck. This was like, you
Still
just
on
like
Dynamite.
it was a tease.
Still on Dynamite.
No, I know, but Sonic,
I know
Anyways,
what she says.
that's how great.
The beginning
I
tag match. That's really about it.
Well, that and of course, I love the Malachi Black thing. That was great. I think that was probably one of the better promos they've done, vignettes in a while.
So I didn't see Producer Lady. I didn't see any of it. I've only seen the images. What was it like?
I honestly didn't even see it. I must have missed it.
You missed it? Oh, well, the feeling of it that I had was like when I saw the entrance, when he did his entrance, because it was like, oh, it was kind of chilling and it was kind of like, ooh, this is really like interesting. I'm at the edge of my seat, like, ooh, what's going to happen? And I think for that, even that promo too, it was just kind of the, ooh. So it makes me wonder, okay, who's going to be next on his little list? Because everybody's doing something.
Yeah, why did you wonder that? Did he say anything, or did he do anything that would make you wonder that? Or
It was just the
Yeah,
get
literally,
to
I
either.
didn't see
Yeah.
any of this, Amanda, so I don't know what he said.
Your breakdown was like, I was
Well,
watching like,
I
ooh,
will
and then
tell
it
you
was
this.
looking
It
pretty
must
good.
have-
So I was like,
It probably showed up on TV for me when I was out of the room. So
Probably no, but I will tell you this.
I mean, I want your reaction, but not literal reaction. Like, you
But
know,
no, but seriously, it's like
figurative.
I honestly I don't really remember what he said.
Okay.
But I think the point of it was no, don't laugh. I'm serious, being totally serious. I think the point of it was it's like the shock value of you've got this, you finally have someone who's actually one of these like dark, mysterious entities. Let's just call it that, because Dark Order was never like that, you know.
They thought
And
they
then
were not.
Sting and his snow wasn't like that. I missed the snow, by the way. Yeah, I've been without the snow, and I think that's causing a depression. I don't know, but
Sting
I think
is
that
no dark entity, that's for sure.
yeah. So if anyone knows what he actually really said, that would be great. But I was just more caught up in the whoa, this is like powerful than thinking that, and just kind of mesmerized than what he was saying. I know that sounds horrible, but
All right.
it got me interested in watching and looking like, ooh, what's he going to do next?
Yeah, let's see what's next. I will say, check out the Malachi Black interview on Pro Wrestling for Life. There is some really cool insight that he gives to his new look, to the new entrance, and to the eye. And I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit surprised that it's not what the internet is going on and on and on about it being. So definitely take a listen to that and check it out. Producer, what's going on?
YouTube chat. TW Takes podcast is saying WOTR Thursday night, top self only, and nothing is on the rails.
Yeah, we don't keep rails here.
What's a rail?
We're no trolley. Let's see.
No.
Well,
Wow, so that's a really short AEW show for you guys.
Well, no. There were other things that I liked.
like what?
Well, Hook did a
I'm
really
scrolling
great
through, and I
impression
remember
of-
just not liking any of this. I didn't like the opening match, even,
Well,
to be honest.
Hook
So let's
did
talk
a-
about the opening match, because right after the open match, there was a fallout, right? Christian Cage comes out, and he says, like, fuck you, dude. And Kenny Omega's all like, yeah, sure, I'm down. And then Kenny's like, how about All Out? And they're like, let's do it. And then he goes, how about also Rampage? And he says, we'll do that, too. That's
said
my gist of it, right?
Top shelf only. That's what we are.
oh bad.
So are you guys super excited? Now tomorrow on the AEW Rampage premiere, we get Kenny versus Christian, and then All Out, we're supposed to get Kenny versus Christian again, right?
No.
Yeah, no excitement whatsoever, because you had all the story with Hangman and you took that all away because
For this garbage,
for who the fuck knows what at this point.
Goldberg.
It's so
I don't know why I said that.
stupid.
Now,
Like what? Like look at the story. Like they're really the only thing you can tell for a story with Christian is they interacted with each other for like 20 seconds. And Christian almost hit him with a kill switch, and then Kenny chickened out and ran away. And there's your story so far. Are you excited
They're
for
both
this matchup
Canadian.
now?
There's another
Oh,
story. They're
sorry.
both Canadian.
Oh, could be a high school thing.
Maple syrup and Canadian bacon.
'cause-
Woo.
Kenny's from Winnipeg,
Yeah.
and Christian's from Toronto. So
Ooh.
yeah,
I
two
know what that
different
means.
provinces.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Careful.
So excited
Careful.
now.
Careful if the refs from
It just
Thunder
gets
Bay.
less and less exciting the more you try to.
I was trying to make it exciting. Okay, I was trying. Sorry, I was trying.
No, it's good.
We got a follow just now.
Oh.
Thank you for Gathers for following us.
Gathers.
That's sweet.
All right, I'm all in. Cheers to Gathers. Four Gathers?
Four gathers.
Like number 4?
Four, like golf.
FOR Gathers?
Four, like when you golf, I think.
No, when you golf, there's an E. This is without an E. Oh my God. Cheers. Cheers. I'm just trying to get it all straight.
See what I have to put up with,
Technicalities.
everyone.
So here's what I think, based off of not being much of a fan. My belief that they would double book back to back is because they're going to do something stupid on Rampage that makes the match not be able to happen on All Out, and you're not actually going to get Christian, and they're just trying to make everyone think it's going to be shitty. That's my thought. Or we could just play a dirt sheet and say, well, plans could change, but right now that's the direction they're going. But they have a chance at Rampage to turn it around in a different direction, just in case the online backlash isn't what they were thinking. So plans could always change, but right now that's definitely the direction they're going.
Thanks, Uncle Marsh.
Yeah.
For your great journalism.
I think that's why they because why else would you ever book two matches? Was one for Impact and one for AEW? Is that what it was?
Yeah, but all on AEW stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my thought, but at the same time,
yeah, it's
I mean,
my
at
thing
the same
is
time, I just don't care.
Well, it's not that you know no one cares. It's just it's boring. They haven't had anything that's been ooh, and especially with the Impact thing. I'm like, God, that's boring as fuck. Like, can't we get like Havoc to come and like fucking terminate like Abaddon? That would be oh my God, that would be great. Tear that bitch in half.
I think
Havoc, not
I think that's a little weird too, because now you have the Impact title, not even on Impact show, and
yeah.
You can say all you want that it's good for Impact and gets Impact viewers, but it hasn't. So far as they can tell, their viewership, and this isn't a Nielsen rating, this is fucking YouTube clips. Their viewership between Twitch and YouTube has plummeted since Kenny has taken the title, and now they're going to defend the title on Rampage. They're not seeing the crossover they thought. So all this really does is kind of undermine the Impact title even more.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're doing it, but I do think that we're not going to get that at All Out. So you heard it here first. I think they're going to go a different direction at some point. And
I think All Out, you're going to get a certain person who lives in Chicago that has initials in his name.
Oh boy,
Jericho.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm
Maybe.
Personally not. I'm really against that, but that's just personal reasons.
Yeah. Well. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to say about that or Christian's? Christian thing?
No. It's just boring.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's really.
Yeah.
Even if they do the two matches, what are you going to get different between the two? Nothing. It's going to be the same match for a different title.
Yeah.
Over and over. And even if Christian takes one, then what do you do?
You're doing it. Watch it again and again. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably going to get a third one after that, just so we can unify them again.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
No. Whereas you have such great younger talent, push them.
Well, no, I mean the Big Show stuff happened, so it gets better. Big Show rescued Tony Schiavone's son, so now he's in a program with QT Marshall. That sounds exciting.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a big highlight, right?
There's all the people that said that he's just going to be a commentator. Remember that?
Oh, but
remember you saying that now, people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember though, this is a big deal. It's QT Marshall, and we all know he's like
resident jobber.
No. The resident jobber, I think, is Fuego del Sol. That's the resident jobber.
Oh yeah, that guy is definitely there.
I love Fuego.
I'm gonna say
get me
this:
wrong.
if he somehow beats Miro, I will freaking scream.
I will too. I will buy like all his merch. Okay.
For real.
I think a lot of
I
people
know
are
he's not
for
going
varying
to.
reasons.
I know he's probably not going to beat him. He's probably just going to have a good showing, and then Tony's going to come out and go, "Here's the contract."
Yeah. Or oh no, that was horrible. You didn't do anything here. No contract for you. No soup for you.
No, that'd be good.
That's what's going to happen.
I'd like that too.
Yeah.
So Big Show's back, and he's in of all programs to put him in to mean anything. They had to do QT, where QT cooled the fuck out of Cody. Cody, like no one gave a shit about the QT Cody thing. And then so much so that even by the end of Cody's run with them, Malachi Black shows up, kicks him in the head, and everyone cheers and says, yeah, he's our guy. Fuck Cody Rhodes. You know what I mean? Like, people are so tired of him right now. And so, like, I don't know how you go to QT and think that people are going to be like, this is exciting. Like,
No,
this is a
I
kickoff
think,
show
like,
match.
yeah, it's like Jericho and the Inner Circle and then the Pinnacle and MJF in this like pissing contest. Same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think it's adorable that guy fans wear fake Burberry scarves in the crowd. I've seen that like 3 or 4 times.
That's
That
a
is
thing.
funny.
I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
I've
that's
seen
like,
that, yeah.
unless they sell them, but I don't think so. They get sued.
What?
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. That's good stuff when that happens. Well, then the labor of love happened with Jericho. He won against Wardlow, and now this big 5th labor against MJF. The big stipulation is he can't use his entrance music. And
Yep.
for fuck's
Good. I'm
sake-
glad.
No, Amanda, you don't understand what they're trying to do. This has all been one big circle jerk for Jericho. He's
Yeah,
going
of
out there
course,
and just
yeah.
masturbating nonstop. This is so he
Ew.
can have the audience sing him out to the ring entirely, because having those 2 lines isn't enough. And all he wants is for all the fans to sing his music for him, so he can
don't
stand
know
there
the
and be all
words.
like, "Oh, they don't. They
JF
don't." And it's going to be a
tweeted about
mess.
that.
It's going to be a hot mess, and
Yes.
whatever. I know there's still tickets available for that cruise. I'm still undecided. Don't know.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, cruises are like a petri dish. Okay. And I'm
True.
just like, oh my God. I told somebody else that you better not go because you and I both think we both had COVID at the same time. Now, I don't care if we're vaxxed or not, but damn, I don't know. But anywho, but no, with Jericho, I think that well, one, I'm a little disturbed about that match because if call me dumb, but wasn't MJF supposed to be the ref?
No, he was just at ringside.
Oh, I thought he was. Everyone's like, yeah.
No, they picked the dumbest. They picked all these stupid ass stipulations of, oh, Shawn Spears can use a chair, but Jericho can't. Then a death match. Then Jericho's got to win with a top rope move. And then they were just like, guess what? It's 1-on-1 with a manager for Wardlow.
Yeah.
Thanks for the anticlimactic fucking ending.
Yeah.
Right. No, but
yeah.
she brings up a good point. Let me see if I can find the results from last week, because I do remember hearing that MJF was going to be the special enforcer, and maybe that's what they meant, was that he would be on ringside and not in the ring as the ref. But I could have sworn that the thing that I had read, the breakdown they had put that it specifically was mentioned.
I thought he said those words. I'm the referee. I thought so, but I don't. Maybe I was smoking something. I don't know, but
All I heard was him go like really excited with his freaking evil. I'm at ringside, and I'm like, ooh, I'll give you the Scott Hall thing.
yeah,
Fucking
okay.
Boy, oh boy, MJF's at
Dark
ringside.
Order was at ringside. Like Orange Cassidy's at ringside when Chris Statlander's wrestling. Come on.
Yeah.
So
She gave him the thumbs up. He hit her right back with it with the.
Mhm. Boop.
Oh, here we go.
She should have booped him right there. That would have been funny.
Mhm.
That would have been good. Let me see here.
She did boop them when.
Yeah, what did it
Oh.
say?
On the ramp.
There's a Cultaholic article titled "Wardlow Revealed His Fourth Labor of Jericho with MJF as Referee."
It's even a headline. Even.
I can't even follow their
Sorry.
own stipulations.
Sorry, I'll
Exactly.
turn my mic on now. There is a Cultaholic article that came out about 8 days ago, August 5th. It says, Wardlow revealed his fourth labor of Jericho with MJF as referee. That's the title of the article.
What is up with AEW? They
Um,
Can't
can
even
never
follow
get
their own
anything right.
stipulations. Oh my god.
says,
I have the quote here. MJF grabbed a microphone and asked the fans if he ruined the moment for them. Said, your opponent for labor number 4 is Wardlow, and as far as the stipulation goes, he'll be accompanied to the ring by someone who will make sure the match is called fair and square. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And then Jim Ross said, Friedman the ref.
So
it could
MJF
also-
said he was going to be the ref, but then wasn't the ref. So in other words, they can't even follow their own stipulations.
No. MJF said he was going to be going to the ring to make sure it's called fair and square,
But
and
it
Jim
wasn't.
Ross said that he'll be a ref.
It wasn't because Aubrey kicked him out.
That is
Really?
So
That's
I
funny.
believe so.
That's funny. That is
Yeah.
fun. Well, I mean, that was one of the things. That was a couple of things they've done with a lot of these stipulations they've mentioned during this thing. Like the Hoovy one, he had to win by off the top, and then he was able to go for pinfall attempts during it. So it either the pinfalls weren't going to matter or the stipulation didn't matter, and he did one over the top. But
there was literally a spot in that match that he got a pinfall, and Hoovy kicked out, and he wasn't off the top rope, and I laughed.
Yeah.
I was like, "You didn't follow your stipulation."
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So I was all
Yeah.
like, interesting.
That's why Aubrey Edwards
Or-
not a very good ref.
There you go. I was going to say, or the issue is that the ref is garbage, because how many times have we seen refs in matches where someone goes for like a rope break and they go, "Oh, I can't do anything about it. It's no DQ." And then the guy goes, "Oh no, this is terrible." Because it's like, oh yeah, they're so used to having rules that now when they break them, it's tough. Refs are so used to not being allowed to enforce rules that when a rule is being broken, they go with it. So yeah, he went for a pinfall, probably as a storytelling mechanism to be all like, "Oh, he's going to show the struggle here." And the ref was like, "Yeah, no, that's fine. You can do it. I don't know why I would follow any other rules, you know? You've never told me to, so yeah, I'll go ahead and go for it." So it's just a showing of their terrible ref work. But that's from all sides. It's from the talent, the company, and the refs themselves. All of them just going like, "Yeah, sure, what the fuck ever. What do we care?"
We're just playing.
It's just playing. So yeah.
Just picture if this is the fifth labor with MJF, and then it ends when we have to get another one fucking All Out. I would scream.
Yeah.
They're gonna do something like that, and then also I think that they might play music on accident too, because they'll forget.
That'd be hysterical. I'd
Because
laugh.
no one knows the words to
There's
Judas.
stupidity.
That's why.
They're playing it really soft so people can sort of sing along. They like, I bet, dude, how funny would it fucking be if they recorded an acapella version of it to play into the audience?
That'd be great.
Thunderdome it, man. Just Thunderdome
Ozzy
it.
unplugged.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Man, that's great.
I wonder if Jericho has one of those versions on his album with that on there. I have to double check now.
I'm trying to remember if they played a like acoustic slowed down version of it when I was on the Jericho cruise. But honestly, I didn't watch Fozzy because I was like, I don't listen to this. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
There was nothing. Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, we can move on to NXT. Just
No.
Wait.
No. Because obviously we were in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's really great that her hometown does give her a lot of love. I'll give her that much. But I would think it'd be damn hilarious if she loses tomorrow. That's just me.
Who? Oh, Red Velvet, right?
Yeah. In her home. That'd be hilarious to me.
They pull a WWE. The hometown person can't win at home.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, exactly. But her coat was cool because it incorporated the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Steelers. I thought that was really cool. Her little doctor coat, you know.
I'll agree that you thought that was cool.
It was cool. Okay, gosh. Speaking of cool, Hook's his impression of Brian Cage doing his, you know, that was great.
Is he ever going to wrestle? That's all I have to say.
Huh?
Please. I said, is he ever going to wrestle?
I think
Please.
so. I think so. I'm calling this. So remember,
Hook
guys.
or Brian Cage? Who are you talking about?
Hook.
'Cause Brian Cage hasn't wrestled in a hot minute either.
No, Hook. I want to see Hook wrestle, Dan.
Yeah, Hook.
Tired
Yeah,
of seeing
everyone
him
wants
just
to see
stand-
Hook wrestle. He's going to be.
Tired of seeing him just being the mannequin for Team Taz.
No, he's been a badass. He's been vocal. He's been actually talking lately. So, but yeah, no, I am going to say this. So mark my word. I said this on episode 1. We're marking it right now. That I think what's going to end up happening is, like I said before, Ricky's going to get really obnoxious with that title. And you know who's going to take it from him? It's not going to be Hobbs. I think it's going to be Hook. And that's where you'll see the debut of Hook, the wrestler.
Hopefully, if he does, I hope he beats him with a Taz mission.
I know. That would be great. So, yeah. Not great because, you know, it's Ricky, but, you know. But I just had to throw that in there. And I don't even think Ricky talked in that promo. Just the facial expressions, you know. That's 101, people. You don't have to always say words. you could just look a certain way. Malachi Black, same thing. That I don't even remember what he said.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Do you at least remember how it made you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? What's coming next? That was how I felt. I still feel that way.
So it wasn't like creepy. It was more just like exciting.
Well,
It was creepy, exciting.
Yeah.
But I will say, because it's so dark and weird, and I don't know, there's a void in my heart for one of my favorite wrestlers who's not wrestling anymore, or at least for now. You know, there's that void, and that kind of filled the void a little. But it was just exciting to see how, because I don't know, I love wrestlers who really like, they invest in their character and they go like balls to the wall. I think that's really why I love Legado, El Fantasma. I think that's really why I love it.
Yeah,
love them.
Yeah.
And so when you're in that mode, okay, like Drew McIntyre could do that for me.
Are we
But there's
moving to
something-
NXT? Is this your segue?
I don't know what she's
This is
doing.
my
Someone
segue.
Drew McIntyre now.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm putting up the
segues.
NXT then.
Yeah, NXT.
NXT.
Yeah,
NXT.
yeah.
I do think that the Malachi Black video stuff really makes Darby Allin stuff look like garbage.
Sting coming out to his music is weird.
Well, the that was just like, what the
Where the
fuck? When he
fuck's the
came
sound?
out, I was like, who's wearing a deer head? Is this the Bucks? What the fuck? And no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. I was drinking a little. No, I wasn't drinking when I saw. No, I was not. I've had an edible or two, but you know, whatever.
The evil satanic deer threw her off.
I know the satanic deer threw me off.
That'll do it.
And I looked
That'll
over at
do it.
I'm looking over at my Black Craft sweatshirts. I'm like, when are we getting a new collab with Malachi Black? Can't wait.
It definitely made Darby Allin's videos and stuff seem a lot less creepy and a lot more childish, if you ask me.
But
Malachi Black's like, hold my beer.
Did you see the Darby Allin cartoon that plays on the Tron when he comes out?
Yeah.
It's cute.
Oh my god.
It's cute.
It looks like Calvin.
For what it is. It's cute.
Jeez. That's not. He's supposed to be creepy. All
But
right.
he's not. That's the thing.
No, he's not.
He's not creepy.
No.
Yeah, he fails in that department. And I don't know, call me like, I don't know. I think Darby, in my opinion, has lost his edge. Because now, like when I used to watch Darby when he was on the indies, it was like hard to watch because I'm like, this guy's gonna die, okay, in front of me because he's doing all this crazy shit. Now it's like, yeah, whatever.
When the hell did we come to the fact that Darby was like the creepy guy, though? That's my thing. I thought he was always just the angsty teen guy, like
Yeah, but everyone loves him.
that just does jackass stuff. Like,
Mhm.
His videos were all supposed to be creepy and deep and meaningful, and they just weren't. And I think that Malachi Black throws that in your face. He goes, he's like, that's
like,
real cute, kid. Let the adults play now.
Yeah, and hey, Sting, you have snow? Well, look at what I have. I have a creepy fucking eye with black shit on it.
so Malachi Black's my favorite wrestler.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
very good.
You know, and it's funny to me where on a dime, you can he flips on a dime where like at PWG, I guess in the clips I had and the illegal things people were throwing out there, don't film noobs.
Yeah.
If I catch you, you're gonna get booted because it's hard enough getting tickets, damn it. But I will say that he's totally babyface over there.
Oh yeah.
And it
He's
was like,
babyface everywhere.
whoa, because he's going to be doing a trio with Brody King and Bandito. That's going to be really cool. So it's against Super Dragon, which he's coming back to wrestle, and Evil Flamita and Black Taurus. That's going to be really good.
Ooh, Black Taurus.
Yes,
Sweet.
Black Taurus. Yes, so that'll be really, really cool. But speaking of creepy people, what is your take on this whole stuff that's going on with Max Caster of the Acclaimed?
Oh yeah, didn't think it was creepy. I think that
Well,
it's
no.
funny that we talked about it briefly. I think last week when they'd mentioned that the belief was that the Max was suspended. They've removed the Acclaim from their rankings list because they were on second place. Now they're not there at all. And they've edited out Max Caster from Dark. But the funny thing to me is that Tony Khan said, I guess I'll be editing those shows as well now. I already edit Dynamite and I edit Rampage, and now I'll be the editor for Dark and Elevation. And I'm all like, the problem wasn't that you're not there to cut it. The problem is you don't fucking know what it means anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe for a second that Tony Khan is so in the know that he would have caught that at all. He would have asked him what he's going to say. He would have said, I'm going to say like Duke Cross. And he's just going to go, oh, okay, sounds great. And then he's going to say it. Then the internet's going to blow up. And then he just needed a scapegoat. And he needed to look like the good guy. And that's what he did here. He's not doing anything special. He wouldn't have caught it. He wouldn't have clipped it. He wouldn't have understood the reference. He wanted to look like a good guy. And that's what he's doing here. Look at guys, I did something.
Well, Caster didn't really do anything for himself either.
No.
He removed all the AEW stuff from his freaking, like his bio and all that stuff like that. And any mention of AEW. So it's like, so he's just being aggravated. So he's being freaking petty because he got caught.
But
Like, stupid.
No. He said a dumb thing. But it was recorded and edited and then published. They had days to not air it. It wasn't live TV. It wasn't like you went on live TV and said a dumb thing and then you say, why the fuck would you say that? There's a live mic and I can't do anything about that now. There were days of other people handling that footage, knowing the quotes, the fans in the audience, and no one took note of it till it made it to YouTube. So he said a stupid thing. It's not all on him. The company put it out and had plenty of time to edit it. Had plenty of time to go back, had plenty of time to realize it was a bad thing to say, and they didn't. So there's a lot of people within the company that need to be held accountable, and Tony allowed the scapegoat to be the performer and the editor, whoever that was or is, and he's saying that he's the good guy. He would have never, that would have never happened under my watch, but it did. It literally happened under your watch. So
if he was the good guy, though, he would have given Jimmy Havoc a second chance.
Maybe
not Jimmy's
Havoc
fault.
supposedly is working for a carrier now. There's a picture floating around of him in some sort of like courier's outfit, and he's like put on weight and stuff.
Oh, that's so sad.
Damn, that kind of sucks.
God, cheers to you. I know. Well, it's horrible because he's alcoholic, but cheers. Anyway, to you. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, cheers.
It sucks.
I swear to God.
To AEW.
If Marty becomes a courier, that'll be awful. I would know.
Justin, what do you think about the Max Caster thing?
It like you just said, it feels like Tony tried to play the good guy because he was like, look, I did something right this time after everybody pointed it out. And it's just, it's a fucking stupid situation. It's a shitty situation that he even said it.
Yeah, but I think that there's a way to handle that where you don't blame the talent for saying a thing that you could have caught and changed. Like, the talent's dumb, but so is everyone who was around him. I mean, there's a lot of people involved. So I don't feel bad for anybody in the situation, if I'm being quite honest. But I also especially think that Max Caster shouldn't have been the full scapegoat of this one, because he said a thing on a program that was recorded and they could have caught it and pulled him aside without it ever going to air and saying, dude, what the fuck was that? We're going to have to cut that. You know, maybe you and I need to sit down every time you do a thing now. So, but
they pretty much waited until everyone said something and then they did something.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Also, I really think that this opens up Tony's eyes to, I shouldn't let everybody have that kind of freedom, that creative freedom.
Yeah.
We need to kind of cap it. So I hope that happens, because then maybe some of this bullshit that we've been seeing will go away.
Yeah, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to talk NXT?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Dude, I loved a lot of NXT and I hated a lot of NXT. because of the way that they mapped this one out. So like the very thing that we've talked about being a problem with AEW was the sole issue with it being in NXT, where we talked about that there's no through story a lot with AEW. And the WWE seems to have gotten a really good flow of putting a through story, a larger story arc that's happening throughout the show while other stories are happening between the larger story. So you have a big story that kind of opens and closes it and takes you through, so you're like kind of on the hook. You can't just leave after every segment because you saw your one wrestler and not going to be back later anyways. Like I said, that AEW is almost built like YouTube clips, like everything's disconnected from each other. So by having a through story, having a larger story arc throughout the show, you encourage people to stay to see the one story, but you have other stories that they get invested in, right? So you don't just see LA Knight and Cameron Grimes and turn it off and say, okay, I've seen everything I want to see. I don't care now. That there's a larger story in play that makes you go, I want to see how that plays out.
Mhm.
That larger story in this one was Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis going on a date.
That was awful.
Every single segment was worse than the last, and it was fucking awful and embarrassing. I don't know. Don't you typically like Gargano, Justin? Did you actually enjoy this? I've heard people say recently that Gargano's doing, quote, the best work of his career right now, and this comes to mind as he puts on a wig and fake beard and does a shitty Italian accent. What did you think of all this through story here, Justin?
Oh, Johnny's definitely had some hit and miss lately. I honestly enjoyed it. I thought it was I thought it was really good, honestly. Like, I enjoyed it from when the Index stuff from the start. They took me out of it when they just stopped showing it on television. But then they brought it back and they pulled me back into it, and I got into it again. And this I honestly enjoyed.
You were having fun with it? You were laughing at the stuff?
Yes, actually.
All right. That's fine. I'm not trying to belittle you for enjoying it. I'm excited that you enjoy it.
I did.
I want clarification.
No, I did. I did enjoy it. It was actually, there was some funny stuff there.
Okay. I don't know. Amanda, what'd you think of the Johnny stuff?
I thought it was awful. I don't know. Everything is just kind of, I don't know. It just got more irritating. It just was like, I don't know. If it's supposed to be funny and Dexter's supposed to make you laugh because he has like no emotion, I don't know. I don't get it. Don't get the joke. But it didn't do anything for me. It was almost to the point where the last couple of segments, I just fast forwarded through. I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, I feel like they've ruined the Dexter character for me. Because as much as I thought Dexter was pretty cool and intense and weird, all of a sudden he's involved in this like love storyline that feels childish and high schoolish, and I'm just not into it. And then you see this whole thing play out where he's just like this. He's like, it's like watching fucking Harry and the Hendersons, and he's the Yeti, and you're like, okay, so I guess Dexter's kind of the Bigfoot straight man in this. Like, I don't know. I talked about it before. I judge comedy different than I judge my wrestling, and I don't watch wrestling to be judging a comedy show. And I just felt like that if this was a standalone episode on a YouTube somewhere, people would. I don't know if they would be as excited about it. Right? Maybe they would. Maybe they would be like with Southpaw Wrestling. First time I saw Southpaw Wrestling,
I thought, was great.
You thought what?
It was great.
Southpaw? When I first saw it, I thought, well, that's a fun thing that the people are doing in the back to pass the time. But it wasn't something I felt like I wanted to invest in to watch, because it was like they're just kind of making fun of stuff. That's kind of how I feel with this, but it's on TV now. I have gone back and watched Southpaw and appreciated it a little bit more. But I don't know. I'm not feeling this version of Johnny. But to me, the reason I was, when I saw that Candace was pregnant, my first thought was, God damn it, she's the best one in the way. Like, every time she kills it. But I don't know, man. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad people are finding it funny. I just don't find a way to enjoy it when it's that stuff. their little sex jokes and stuff. I was like, I don't know what this is. But I guess we'll just leave it at that. Because, I mean, if Justin liked it, then that's good. If people are enjoying it, then that's good. Not everything from every show is for everybody. And as long as you can recognize that, that's cool. Exactly. My problem with this one was that my through story was taking me out. It was like knocking the wind out of my sails every time something, like I'd see a great match, and then I would see something here and go, oh, fuck. I would see an amazing promo, and then I would see something here and go, oh, god damn it. Like, I just kept, it was like the opposite of what I would want it to do, which would keep me invested, and it was like kept pulling me out, and I had to like get reinvested to me. Like the other week when the through story was LA Knight and Cameron Grimes on the golf course. You know what I mean? Well, every time they popped up on screen, I was all like, fuck yeah, here we go, more LA Knight, more Grimes. This was time where I was like, god damn it, now he's got a fucking meatball or something. Like, what? But that was my biggest criticism of the night, if I'm being honest. Dakota Kai versus Soray kicked off the show, though, in a match. I mean, Dakota Kai did cut a very, very small promo on Raquel Gonzalez. And then they had this match, and Dakota Kai was put in it because Ember Moon was injured, which we talked about earlier. I'm going to start with Amanda. What did you think of this match?
You know, I really enjoyed it. Although, yes, I was really kind of more excited with Ember Moon. So I thought, okay, well, you know, let's see. And actually, I actually thought it was pretty darn good. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, with all of the Joshi wrestlers and Joshi types of wrestlers, I rather enjoy Soray's wrestling than like someone like I love Shida, don't get me wrong, Shida's a badass, but like with like Shida or Riho or whatever, I think that there's just something about it, and even, you know, that's totally different than a different level than Asuka, because I like Asuka too, but yes. I mean, I just think that as the more and more I see of Soray, it's just really exciting to see. So
she does have a very unique Joshi style.
Yeah, and it meshes well with the Western ways. Oh my God, that sounded so Asian of me. Yeah, the Western culture. Yeah.
100%, because a lot of the Joshis that have been televised that I have not been that into or invested in, their styles were so goofy and cartoonish and weird that I was just like, I guess I just don't get it. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Soray has been an exception to that, where I've thought, oh, this is fantastic. Yeah. And it's very different than what I've seen from Japanese wrestling in WWE as it stands. Like, she is a different style altogether. It's been fantastic.
Definitely the female Okada there.
Okay.
Because she has that presence like Okada has. That,
okay,
you know, I'm just like, wow, this is going to be good. I'd love to see, you know, in the future, you know, her and like Toni Storm. That would probably be a really great one.
Ooh.
Shouldn't have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Justin, what do you think of this match? And then I'm going to hit the chat because I see that we've missed a couple things.
I enjoyed it. I definitely was disappointed that we didn't get Ember, but I enjoyed Dakota and being in there. I was a little disappointed that they kind of ended her undefeated streak this soon.
Yeah, but I mean,
but you know,
do with it, and do you really need
it? Dakota needs the momentum right now, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big win for her, so I'm fine with it.
And Soray's undefeated streak wasn't this impressive streak. It was just a couple of good wins as she's starting off, giving her good steam in the beginning. A loss against Dakota, who's about to go for the title, isn't going to derail Soray as long as they keep the momentum going outside of the Dakota thing. So, yeah, I felt you too, because I was like, oh, bummer, Soray lost this one, and I thought like it was going to make it interesting if she won it. But, yeah, it wasn't the worst way to go about that, I don't think. I thought the match was actually pretty solid in and of itself. I thought it was really good. I thought they worked really well together. Do you want to hit the YouTube chat real quick?
Takes is saying he liked the gimmick, hated what Johnny did, made it very much about Johnny, loved Indy in it.
Yeah, Bishop was saying that he loved Indy in the through story that we talked about, but he hated what Johnny was doing because he was making everything about him. And maybe that's part of my problem is, we've talked about it before, if Charlotte's in a segment, then the whole thing's about Charlotte, and Johnny's very much the same. Also, Johnny's very much a student of HBK, and he was very much the same. It didn't matter who was in or around or what the goal was. At the end of the day, he wanted to make sure all eyes on me and no one else at all, and he didn't care who he buried to get there. And I do feel that there's a similarity with Johnny there, that he's never concerned about someone else looking good or looking strong, as long as he gets all his shit in and says things and he's listened to, and he's the most important in the whole thing. And maybe that's part of the reason why this whole way thing bothers me, is because he comes off so fucking arrogant and cocky, but not in a heel way, in a performer way. You know what I mean?
You feel like that about Adam Cole?
Yeah, I see through it. With Adam Cole, no. I think Adam Cole thinks he's making other people look good. I think Gargano is like the guy in the improv troops that interrupts everyone else's jokes to say his own joke, no matter how bad it is. And you go, all right, dude, it's a group of people. You're not the only one who gets to finish each line. You know what I mean? And there's always a guy in the improv groups, especially the young ones, where they cut a lot of lines and say their joke and look at the crowd like, eh? That's Johnny. It's that fucking ego where you go, shut the fuck up, dude. You're not that funny. You're out of your element, Donnie. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why it's harder for me to see the other people, is maybe they're being overshadowed by the butthole of Johnny. But yeah. But we'll keep it moving. The Dakota Kai and Soray stuff, good. Raquel Gonzalez came out and chased Dakota. I thought that was good. Yeah, and then she talked some shit on the mic for a minute. I thought was good.
Yeah,
I
she's
was
very
liking that stuff.
powerful. That's a good moment for Raquel.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. Anything you want to say about that, Justin?
No, honestly, I think Raquel's gotten. I was not a fan of Raquel, but she's gotten so good lately.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
Yeah, I think Dakota's bringing out the best in her. I really do.
No,
her and Coda's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Let's see. After that, we had Ilya Draganov come out and cut a promo, impassioned, yelling Russian, talking about how where he comes from, it's not about words, it's about fisticuffs and such. And then Pete Dunne comes out and says, "Use a little bitch, prove me wrong." Prove me wrong. And Ilya's like, "I could beat the shit out of you, and I'll prove you wrong." That was just what I got out of it. It's pretty close to what it was.
It's weird because that is actually how he sounds.
Yeah,
He sounds.
I can't listen to Pete Dunne anymore because all I see is Marsh. You know,
That's what he does.
I can't. Yeah,
He's
I
like,
can't.
He's like, you couldn't do the thing that I never did. Prove me wrong.
Lord.
Yeah.
Lord.
He's-
Next thing you know, Marsh is going to grow his hair like Pete Dunne just because it'll probably irritate somebody. You know?
I'll get Pete Dunne hair and then I'll oil my body in orange paint.
Yeah.
What? What? I don't have bronzer.
Oh, you can get the Planet.
No.
Sally Beauty. That's the one that all the wrestlers use. I'm like, don't y'all know that makes you look orange?
Yeah, it's
Come
clear as
on.
day it's orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the Ilya and Pete Dunne face off nose to nose, the prove me wrong off? What?
Prove me wrong.
What do you think, Justin, of Ilya? I don't know. Justin, do you get the chance to see much of NXT UK?
Not as much anymore. I used to be on NXT UK all the time, but
Yeah.
I can't. I just lost trying to keep up with them. I do kind of pop in once in a blue moon. I do keep up with them.
Did you get to see Walter and Ilya back like 10 months ago?
The first time they did it, they went at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched that whole match. I loved that match. That was outstanding.
Yeah, incredible.
It's
Amanda,
gonna be so weird because they had their match in front of nobody, and now it's gonna be in front of a crowd. And it's gonna be amazing to see.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Amanda, you don't typically watch NXT UK either, right?
No, but I mean, every time I'm meaning to,
Yeah,
because
that's right.
you know,
No,
I just
you
get
watch a lot.
You watch a lot of stuff. So it's
stupid.
not like,
Now I have to watch even more stupid goddamn AEW.
So, did you watch the first Dragunov and Walter match?
Yes, I did. And it's interesting to me, like with Walter, I don't know, in the last I'll say maybe in the last maybe 3-4 years, Walter, it's very interesting because I'd seen people who were just like, who the fuck is this guy? Right? He's big, he chops people. Ooh, this is great. But now he's got this weird cult following of people who just love Walter. I'm not gonna lie, I love Ring Conf with Toothless Timmy, but I will say that I can watch Walter and Ilya wrestle all the time. Yeah. All the damn time. It would not be boring to me. Some people, I don't know. Some people might think it would be boring, but no, I could watch that all the time. Because it's very intense. Because they're both very intense people. So.
I can put this, I'm going to put this on out there right now. And I don't know if Bishop would hit me with a terrible wrestling take or not, but I think it gave Tyler Bate and Walter a run for its money for their match. It was pretty close.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd put Ilya and Walter as better than Bate and Walter for sure. Yeah.
I love Bate and Walter just a little bit more.
Oh, it was crazy. It was so good. But there was something that Ilya brought to it that was a different thing. Because a lot of what the Tyler Bate story was about was how he's unusually strong and how he was Mighty Mouse, and there was a lot of that. Ilya's story was about how he's unusually violent, and that he's so violent that even the towering Walter might buckle. So I thought it was, to me, just so fucking cool. Producer.
Oh, I thought this was really interesting because I'm used to crazy Dragunov. That's how he's portrayed, comes out, like a conductor, the orchestra, just like a madman. And when you see his old promos in NXT UK, that's the vibe that he gets off. So you're just thinking, wow, he's just out of his mind. So to see him here saying these, this babyface promo in the ring, I was like, oh my God. I was very taken aback. I wasn't expecting it. And I'm so glad that people seem to really enjoy it.
Yeah. And he used to wear red contacts to look even more like a fucking crazy lizard Martian or something.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's way different. But what did you guys think? Since you guys don't get to watch a lot of NXT UK, what did you think, Justin, about the back and forth between Ilya and Pete Dunne in this promo prior to the match? And we'll get to the match in a bit.
Got me so hyped for their face-off. Dragunov sounded really good. He wasn't screaming at him, getting all intense and everything, and it was really good. He fit really well in there with Dunne. Dunne was, it got me so amped for that match.
Yeah,
the outcome on the other.
It got me all got me pretty jacked for both the matches. Actually, I was all like the idea of Pete Dunne and Ilya, and the idea of Ilya and Walter. Fucking talk about joint manipulation. You know what I mean? Amanda, what did you think about this promo back and forth?
Well, first of all, I could not get your face out of my head every time. Every time Pete opened his mouth, I can't handle this shit. I can't. I watched it yesterday, and I had a really long day yesterday, and I was just like, I can't do it. I was laughing so hard, I couldn't hear. I was just like, I can't do this. So about maybe quarter of the way through, I stopped because I was laughing so hard. I'm like, I can't. Yeah.
You're killing Pete Dunne for people. Stop it.
I know. See? All I did, I was just laughing.
If you think he sounds different, then you're going to have to prove me wrong.
No. See?
This kills me because producer lady is a really big fan of Pete Dunne. And this is why he does this.
Yeah. And I was really wanting to see that, and I just couldn't. I can't even bring myself back to seeing it. Now, forget it. There's no way. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Me and my brother literally said, as soon as the match was made official, we were like, this match is going to be crazy. And if you think that it's not going to be, prove me wrong. And I was like,
Oh God. Oh,
good.
it's just, I just
We are
can't.
all dumb Americans, clearly.
We are very dumb Americans. But you know what? I will say that's A-okay to me. A-okay. Yeah.
Right,
Man.
all right.
Oh my God. I totally forgot. I was looking up Bola because I remember that's the only time I've seen Ilya Draganov wrestle live was at Bola.
Yeah.
And fuck. I forgot that Walter and Jonah Rock faced each other. I forgot that.
Wasn't there a triple threat with the two of them and Keith Lee?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
There was a Jeff Cobb. It was one of the two.
Yeah, I think it was Jeff Cobb. Yeah.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah, but the first round was so hard because it was Walter versus Toothless Timmy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so obviously Walter won. But hey, you know what? We got a great match later with Shingo Takagi and Walter, and that was just amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, that weekend we did get Ilya and Shingo versus Ring Conf. If I'm not mistaken.
All right, go check it out, guys. Bola, do you remember what year it was?
Bola 2017.
2017.
2017 was the first one.
Walter versus Bronson Reed, guys.
Yeah. And the match that Jonah Rock has, his first round was versus Sammy Guevara. And if you watch it, just know that about 90% of what he did to Sammy Guevara was real. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's what happens when you fat shame people. Okay.
That'll happen.
And people find out about it. Especially if they're people that, they're like, okay, yeah.
Who has the balls
he needed,
to fat
he
shame
needed to be taught a lesson. So yeah. So it's great. But since they don't do the entrances, I got all up in Sammy's face. It was great. I have a couple pictures.
So 2017 Ebola, check it out.
Yes.
After the promo though, after that promo, there was an LA Knight backstage segment with Cameron Grimes, where LA Knight's cutting a mean ass promo and making Cameron Grimes saying that it's LA Knight's game, and it was so awesome. I love the delusional aspect of LA Knight, where he goes, the crowd was going crazy. They were just screaming, LA Knight, LA Knight. And then Cameron Grimes came in and I gave him a chance to redeem himself and he let the whole crowd down. Like, I loved it. The way that in his mind, they're all chanting his name, even when they're not,
It's funny. Yeah. I guess LA Knight sounds like to the moon.
3 syllables.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good call. But let's see. After that promo, anything you want to say about the promo? I know it had the Sonic Slush in there.
Yeah, please, dear NXT, quit trolling me. Quit trolling our show. Even AEW sometimes trolls our show.
Yep.
Don't, because it's kind of creepy.
That's weird. It's weird, guys.
Yeah, when any of us have something, we say something, and it either happens or whatever, it's creepy. Marsh has some great predictions on episode 1 that have come true.
Journalist.
Yeah.
Then we did get an LA Knight match where he defeated Andre Chase in quickly fashion, which I thought was actually a really good match that was mapped out well. Like, it was exactly what it needed to be, and there was no fluff about it, and it was good. Justin, what did you think of it?
It was perfect. This whole thing with Cameron Grimes is perfect. Like, I can't even say anything bad about it at all. It's
the promo afterwards with Ted DiBiase. Talk about that too.
Oh my God. The whole telling Cameron Grimes that he needs to find a way to get out of there, and then the match made. Oh my God, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it'd be like for Ted to be his butler. Oh my God.
Yeah, I loved that where he's all like, at the end of that match, he goes, if he's not my butler, you are, or whatever. But it was so good, man. And LA Knight, the fact that LA Knight was going back and forth with Ted DiBiase there for a minute or two, like, fucking dream come true for that guy, no doubt about it. And also, he's like hanging with one of the best talkers in the business. And Ted DiBiase was not off his A game here. He was on it, Yeah. It was fucking great, I thought. Amanda, what do you think of all of this whole thing?
Well, the one thing that I'd say that's negative about them is we don't get enough of those two. I'm just throwing it there. I mean,
Just to play devil's advocate, and also what I saw a little bit online, just a little bit, is the argument of, are we going to keep seeing this old talent being brought back? How many times can you rely on the older talents to really carry the shows? So there's that.
We had 3 segments with LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, and Ted DiBiase was in the 3rd. I will say, I thought that there was a weirdness where LA Knight and Ted DiBiase are going back and forth, and Cameron Grimes is feeling a little bit like a third wheel because he's being ignored and walked on and over-talked by everyone in the segment, DiBiase and LA Knight. Like, it made Cameron seem like he was being a little bit punked around by both sides, even though one side was supporting him. But maybe that works into the story just fine. So when he overcomes and becomes the big deal, that it's like, meaningful,
It's weird that I almost thought he was going to have Cameron Grimes sock Ted DiBiase.
yeah.
It gave me weird vibes, like he was going to have Cameron Grimes deck him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I liked the fact that Ted and LA Knight made the match and the stipulation without Grimes being able to, like, do anything about it. He's just like a pawn in the whole thing. But I did like that, hey, he gets his 3rd chance, and he's like, if you can win this match by the grace of God, then good luck to you, But then he said, if I win, then he won't be my butler, you will. And I was like, fuck yeah, $1 million belt on the line with Ted DiBiase as your butler. And I'll tell you, I'm torn yet again. As much as I want Cameron Grimes to get the win here because he's been getting punked around, part of me likes LA Knight as $1 million champ so much that I just don't want it to not be the case for a while,
I like how they've been doing it mostly because they don't like have matches, like they have gaps between their matches, and that's what's better. They give you time to tell more story, and then they have another match, and then they tell more story, and then they have another match. It's not just match and then like 2 weeks later another match.
Yeah, 100%. They've been spacing it really well, and this is a program that would work on SmackDown. It's been going so well.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I guess I have nothing else to say about it other than I agree. I could watch a 2-hour program with just LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, no problem. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving along though, they did have a little video package there for Gigi Dolan, and then she came out and had a match against Amari Miller. It was an okay match. It was, to me, from my perspective, it was okay. It was a little disjointed. It was a little bit slow, but the finisher that Gigi did actually looked very, very impressive and innovative, and I really enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing more of her. I thought the promo she did, the little video, was good. But yeah, the match didn't blow me away necessarily. We'll start with Amanda. What did you think of it?
The promo was okay. But for me, I think that I still remember her Priscilla Kelly.
Yeah.
She had done some weird shit. Really weird shit. And I don't know if I can really erase that in my mind, which was on the indies. And I've never thought that she was that, I don't even want to say great, but even that decent of a wrestler. So that's why, for me, it looked kind of slow. It wasn't necessarily, it was clunky. It's just, there's nothing about her except her look that's exciting. That finisher she had, that was great. But I don't see the value in her,
Did you think this match of hers was better than most of the matches you've seen her on the Indies, or no?
It's on par, because her matches mainly, unless she's got something in it for shock value, no one talks about.
That's true. Justin, what do you think of this match?
It was solid. I know a lot of people will bring up her like raunchy and disgusting things she's done on the Indies. Like the people that have actually seen it. It is hard to like not think about it. When you see her, you look at her and you go, oh, I know her. She's done that nasty thing. And it's like, okay, I get it. But honestly, she's not that bad to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad we're seeing more of her on TV. Because I don't like hate her for all the weird, nasty stuff she's done. She seems like she's not, like she's kind of past that now. And it's let her develop more.
Yeah, and that's true too, is that when you're new on the Indies and you're trying to get booked and trying to be seen, you're going to have to do something to stand out, especially in a scene that at the time had like Tessa Blanchard in there. You're not having Tessa Blanchard level matches. You're needing to do something else to get on that show. You know what I mean? So,
well, she's been wrestling for a long time, because if you remember, she was on one of those big gypsy wedding things that was on like Lifetime or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Was she really?
Yeah. Priscilla Kelly.
Shit.
Yeah. You go Google it. Check it out. Oh yeah. I saw the
I've
episode.
seen that actually. Oh
yeah.
my God.
And when you go back, you're like, oh my God, that's her. Yeah.
Whoa.
Because she wanted to be a wrestler. Yeah. The other thing that also is in my mind too is I always think of her and Darby, because obviously they were married more, obviously. But yeah, I always thought that was kind of they're a really good couple together, but when that kind of fell apart, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's true too.
They're kind of weird together, and it was kind of cool.
Gypsy Wedding was some show that was on like TLC, where it was just
like TLC or
putting together,
Lifetime.
Yeah, and they were just
One
trying
of
to put
those
together
ones.
these weird weddings for these people who live a gypsy lifestyle, and yeah, she'd gotten on
Yeah.
there. And also, because Darby Allin was on one of those, it was one of those like fake shows where it's like 1,000 Ways to Die, but this was like a weird like I almost died but I didn't, and he told some fake story that he had made up about like having sex with someone in the woods and is getting cut or something, or getting bit by an animal. It was some sort of weird stupid thing he had made up to get the money
Darby
for
was
it.
on 1,000 Ways to Die.
It was one of those. It was like 1,000 Ways to Die or Weirdest Places I Had Sex
how
or
would
something
you-
like that.
But that doesn't make sense.
What? Look it up. He was in one. I mean, it's just there. I can't tell you. He was trying to get the payday. He needed a couple. He got like a couple grand for it, and I think she was doing the same thing. I don't know if that gypsy wedding thing was even legit or just a way to get some money. Because at the time they were sitting in they were living in the car. So, well then yeah. I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. We'll move it along. There was more Dexter indie stuff, but we talked about it. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly did a face-off in the ring. I'm going to be honest, as much as I don't care about Adam Cole, I was surprised at how much I've lost interest in Kyle O'Reilly. With as excited as I was when he was in the program with Finn Balor, everything he does with Adam Cole makes me less and less interested in anything he says. And to me, he's sounding really weird in these promos and awkward, and it's all like, I don't know if I'm just off base on this one. Justin, I'm going to start with you. What do you think of the Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly face-off?
It is really weird with Kyle O'Reilly. It feels like, I don't know, he's trying to be heel. And does he know outside of Undisputed Era how to like be a heel himself? I don't really know. But it's freaking weird, because this whole matchup, as much as I'm like, okay, I know that these guys can put on good matches together.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because this feud's literally the same thing that happened with Johnny and Ciampa.
Yeah.
And it's the same stipulations.
Yeah.
Or no, with Johnny and Cole. It's the same fucking stipulations.
Yeah.
In this. I don't get it. It's crazy. Like, is this just now the way to just end the feuds? Like, come on.
Well, it's just the way that Adam Cole knows how to do things. So he's like, oh, let's just do the Johnny Gargano story again, but this time with Kyle. And they're like, okay, sounds good.
It's so lazy. I
That's
don't like
lazy.
that.
Amanda, what do you think about this face-off between the two of them?
You know, I don't know. Does NXT really not have a lot to do anymore? I mean, I know they took away some people who were on NXT and gave them their papers. It's like, do we really need to see this again? I mean, I ask myself all the time that. No, is my answer. It's like, I don't need to see this again. And then now it's these 3 stipulations because we all know it's going to end up going to that steel cage. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not invested in that. And I just, it's boring to me. And, you know, I don't know, because what's going to happen next? Well, I don't know. Does Adam Cole go away? Probably. But
that's what I said too. It feels like if Cole loses this
he's gone.
Could this be the end? Is this main roster or is it gone? Like, which
I think
one's
he'll be gone.
Be? That's scary. I don't
know. I don't know what's next.
Yeah, I will say this. One thing I think that if it did happen, I'm just fantasy booking this here, but it would be very interesting if they did slap AEW, if he went there with his old lady, if they slapped the title on him and her. That could be an interesting kind of program. They both are like meh, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they would.
Johnny and Candace.
Yeah, I wouldn't be interested in him going over there. I don't think that they would, to be honest. I think
prove me wrong.
I think that there's if he ended up in AEW, I think that he would be I don't think they would offset any of their championship plans for him. I think they would do stuff with him, but I don't think that they're going to be. I think they have it set in their mind how it's going to go for a while, and that's just what they're doing. I don't think they'd change a lot. But I wish they would. I wish they would be a little more on the fly because it's been very predictable for a very long time.
Well, remember, the Bucks did kill Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's true. They killed him. Capital murder. There was a Ciampa Thatcher video promo, which I liked a lot. I think those guys are fantastic. Calling out Ridge Holland, which I liked a lot because I think that dude's awesome. So I can't wait to see how that all play out. And then there was the NXT Breakout Tournament semifinal with Trey Baxter against Odyssey Jones, and Odyssey Jones beat the shit out of Trey Baxter, and it was fucking dope. To me, I think it was dope. But you guys tell me what you think. I'm gonna start with Amanda. What do you think of the Odyssey Jones and Trey Baxter?
You know, I really honestly thought that they were probably going to try to push Trey Baxter, but with Odyssey Jones, that was a shock to me. But because then I'm like, wait a minute. They're keeping big guys, but you know, I mean, the big guys that they got rid of, like Bronson Reed, is like, dude, you know, like there could be some really great shit that some of these bigger guys can do, you know, versus each other. Yeah. So, but I just thought it was really, really great, and it seems like the crowd really responds well, even though it's the same people every time, but they really do respond pretty well to Odyssey Jones, which I like seeing. So definitely it was a fun one. Watching people get stomped like that is kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah, it was good. And I thought Trey Baxter was doing a really good job of being resilient, trying to use his speed to get the advantage, and Odyssey Jones just being too big of an obstacle.
Yeah.
Like, it was a really good job of showing power versus speed. And resilience and heart in Trey Baxter.
Yeah.
Like, they did a great job. It wasn't a total squash. It wasn't a weird back and forth. It shouldn't have been. It wasn't like a lot of the competitive matches that go on forever. Like when Kenny Omega had a competitive match with Marco Stunt, it makes it look a little off because you're like, look, Marco does not look believably like he's striking someone very hard to begin with, and he's not using his speed to get over, right? This was a really good showing of two people of really extremely different sizes and utilizing their best strengths and the better man winning in the match. Like, it came off competitive, and it was competitive and believable at the same time, which I thought was fucking cool because I feel like I feel like we don't see that a lot. Feel like we see competitive but not believable more often than not in wrestling nowadays. Justin?
See, I'm gonna probably have to be that guy, don't I? Damn it.
Do it.
Be that guy.
Do it.
I didn't really like it. It instantly it killed my excitement for the tournament immediately, because it just feels like we're falling into the whole, oh, we're only pushing big men thing, and I just got disappointed. I got really disappointed because Odyssey Jones, to me, yes, he's really charismatic and the crowd seems to love him. He's still giving me fucking Mark Henry vibes, and this is their way to replace Mark Henry since they lost him. They're like, let's just have the guy who now is believing that it's actually playing out the fact like that he's Mark Henry, and I'm just like, God damn it! Dresses like him, looks like him, moves like him. I'm like, fuck! I'm like, damn it! We're really just doing this, aren't we? I got really like that. Immediately put my excitement on the tournament down.
They didn't do a breakout tournament last year, right? They did one the year before.
The one before, yeah, the year before.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think that there's any indication that that's the direction they're going, other than some random dirt sheet saying it. But at the same time, if they were going for big guys, they wouldn't have gotten rid of not only Bronson Reed, but a slew of the other guys they got rid of were over 6 feet tall and 200-something pounds. So it's like they got rid of a lot of really big guys. They didn't get rid of their smallest guys on the roster. They didn't get rid of Gargano, and they didn't get rid of Cole or anything. They didn't get rid of anybody who's actually small. They got rid of a bunch of big guys. They got rid of Alex Zane, and he's kind of small. But the narrative that that's what they're going for is baseless as of right now. But even then, if they were really going for that and just trying to crush the small guys, Trey Baxter wouldn't have looked so good in this match, and he looked good in this match. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be a point, right? If it's like, hey, we're going Odyssey Jones and everyone else be damned, hey, just go out there and crush him, man. Be dominant.
Yeah, at least
why not?
At least it wasn't a squash. That's all.
Yeah.
That's a good thing out of it.
Yeah. But there's something about Odyssey Jones, man. He's charismatic. He's good. I think he's got something, so I'm excited to see what he does. His gear is confusing to me, and a lot of times is really weird. But like, I like the fit of it, but like the colors on it all the time, I'm like, it's a little like the checkered one he's worn and stuff. Like they're just
That's a little too much.
It seems like a bit much. Like really loud gear,
Cable.
but you know.
The gear literally looks like Mark Henry's. Like his younger day times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but louder, definitely louder. Because when Mark Henry was wearing gear like that, it was like just with a couple of lines, or you know, it wasn't that. But it's that amateur wrestling kind of look, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. As we're getting close to wrapping it up here, they did announce that Kushida and Roderick Strong were going to face for the Cruiserweight Championship next week, and they also had an MSK promo, and they're going to be going against Imperium. Amanda, it's your boys. What do you think of the MSK promo they did?
I love my boys. I mean, you know, they have been, well, I would even say before NXT, they were getting more and more comfortable on the mic when they were at Impact. Now it just seems like they're just another level. I don't know if it's because they're putting these guys through some really good, you know, promo cutting class or whatever, but I was definitely very, very excited about that. And I think they haven't wrestled in a while, right? It's been a while, a hot minute, I think, right?
It's been a little bit. Makes you wonder if somebody was nursing an injury and we just didn't know.
I think so.
I think since the last takeover, they haven't wrestled.
Yeah, I think maybe Wesley was injured.
Maybe.
I think.
Justin, what do you think of this promo, this video package?
It's good. MSK is. I never really seen a lot of their promos during their Impact days, but they definitely sound really good on NXT. And I'm looking forward to see what they can do against Imperium, because I know everyone fucking loves Imperium. Like, my God.
Yeah.
They're so fucking good. I can't wait to see what this is going to do. Kushida and Roddy. I don't know. It could be a sleeper match, honestly. We might think it's going to be bad because of the whole Diamond Mine thing, but I wouldn't sleep on that match. Roddy hits like a truck. Kushida freaking is a great mat-based wrestler and all that and everything else. Like, damn, I'm all for it.
That's true. I can't argue with any of that. I do think that MSK are cutting some incredible promos. I loved this whole thing. It was so good. And I agree, that could easily be a sleeper match next week, Kushida and Roderick. Let's see as we move it along, as we get moving. And I haven't been exposed to MSK until they got to NXT, so I don't know about their old promos and stuff. But we did get Boa versus Drake Maverick, where Boa murdered Drake Maverick, which was pretty good.
What's going on with Tien Shaw? Because
I don't know.
It was weird without having Xia Li there.
I think Zaya's going up.
Yeah, and with what's her bucket getting up out of the chair.
Mei Ying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she spit in the dude's face, in Drake's face. It was, yeah. It's a little weird what's going on. Xia Li's not there, I think, because she's been called up, according to some of the dark matches. But even then, the dark matches are hard to say, too, because on the dark matches, like, I want to say on both Friday and Monday, Dakota Kai faced Ilya in the dark match. And it's all like, Dakota Kai doesn't look like she's been called up yet. I mean, I wonder if there's starting to be a little bit of an overlap. Remember there used to be that? Remember there used to be before someone got called up, they started doing the house shows? With, like, remember Asuka was doing house shows with everybody on, like, SmackDown? And you're like, oh, they're getting her used to working with the SmackDown roster, you know? Matter of fact, even before Nikki got called up, she was doing the SmackDown loops and stuff and working with all them. So I wonder if it's just one of those things where they're getting ready to call up Dakota as well. Wouldn't bother me.
Could be.
She's been down there for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if she got called up.
Yeah. And Xia Li's so good, I think that you could fit her in somewhere too. That does bring us to the main event. Ilya versus Pete Dunne. Justin, what do you think of this matchup and the aftermath where Walter comes out and Ilya ends up getting a little sneaky on Walter and holds the title and just kind of looks at it and stuff? What do you think about all that?
See, match I loved. They were stiff. They were technical. They were just murdering it with everything. And it was great. I was loving it. And then the ending, it didn't really make any sense to me. The whole, like, even with a loss, even with a distraction, I don't get why Ilya had to lose. Like, Pete Dunne getting the win was not really necessary. Dunne's in the middle is probably going to be involved with the Thatcher and Ciampa thing. So why is he getting a win over Ilya right now? He's not. He has nothing to do with the title scene right now. So.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out why Ilya had to take the loss either.
Yeah.
Because but at the same time, I don't think that anyone, because it was such a good match, I don't know that anyone needed, like, I didn't think of anything like, oh, Ilya really needed the win here, because I do think that if I'm going booking 101, Ilya loses here because he's going to win the title. Right? Because if he wins here and looks really strong, a lot of times that means that they're not going to win the title, because the idea is that you have to build doubt in the match. The whole point of this match isn't to get a win or a loss here. The point of this match against these two is to make you feel a certain way about the match that's coming next, which is Walter Ilya. If Ilya looked really strong, you'd say, oh, Ilya's got a really good chance of winning against Walter. If Ilya lost their last match, couldn't win this match because Walter's already in his head, you go in there thinking, I don't think Ilya can do it. Like, it'll probably be good. He's going to put up a fight, but Walter's in his head. He couldn't do it last time. He didn't get a win off Pete Dunne. Like, it doesn't look good. So then if he gets the win, it's a bigger feeling. You know what I mean? Where if he won, you go, oh, yeah, he's got a good shot. And if he loses at that point, you go, oh, how could it be? And then you're emotionally involved the other direction. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
The whole just make him feel like he's not going to win the title. So that way, when he wins the title, it's a bigger moment for him. I get it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
100%. Now, if he doesn't win the title, then it's all a bummer.
Yes.
But if he wins the title, it'll be that much more impressive and cool and that much more of a fighting spirit is what I feel like. A lot of times you see somebody like look real strong right before the match. Like all the stuff Charlotte's been doing right now. If it was anyone else, I'd say it's a really good sign that she's not going to win the match. But it's Charlotte, so it's kind of like hard to say. But when someone looks that strong over their opponent before the match, it's typically because they're going to lose. Like think of Seth and Brock Lesnar. Seth was getting his ass fucking handed to him, had his ribs cracked, constantly getting his shit kicked out of him every Raw. So he wins at Mania to make it a bigger moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's the comeuppance thing. So I think that's what they're trying to do here. Underplay Ilya, show how strong he is, show how badass he is. Like you said, there were a couple of pretzels twisting each other up. Amanda, I've said a bunch. What did you think about this match in the aftermath?
Well, I love that whole twisting pretzel, submission. Oh, girl stiffy. Yeah, that's my shit. That's my kind of wrestling, which shocks me that I don't make the time to watch NXT UK. But
yeah,
But I too was puzzled about why Ilya did not win. I get it, but I think either way, because I don't think I feel. When it comes to Walter and Ilya, I don't know if I feel strongly one way or another, but I think that this is a time now where I think that, someone can really take that belt from Walter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great person to do it. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
Could be wrong. So, yeah. So we shall see about that. Yeah. But I think if you were to ask me what's for me, probably the most desired match I want to see, I'd probably say it would be Ilya and Walter.
Yeah.
Even though I love Joe and I love Karen Cross, no, I really think it's going to be these two. This is the one that's going to really just wow everybody. I think I think everybody is thinking it's going to be, Joe. I love Joe and I love Karrion Kross, but this one has the total potential to kick the shit out of everything.
Oh yeah,
because
their first match is still like on my list of match of the year.
Yeah, and this is an audience that isn't really exposed to either one of them. Yes. So I think. For me, I'm like, this is great. Kid in a candy store. So I think that this is gonna probably be match of the night. And if it's not, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Walter and Ciampa were match of the night when they had theirs. So it wouldn't surprise me if Walter does it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight were match of the night on their takeover.
Right.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
Well, that's so like right there, top three. That's like the
top
going to be the top three matches. It's going to be
Cameron Grimes, those are like three headline matches you've put in a card. Like Jesus, like I'm so excited for this takeover, more so than I have been almost any other takeover. To be quite honest, there's usually one or two matches on takeover. I'm like, I'm okay. It'll be fun.
Last time,
But this one, Karrion Kross and Joe, fucking Walter, Ilya, Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, those are my styles of matches. Those are the types of matches I get involved in because those are so story heavy. They're so I want to say like believably realistic, believably competitive in everything that they do. Those people, every one of those people put so much into those matches to make it make sense why they're doing the moves in the order they're doing them. That I'm like, this is going to be fucking incredible. And usually there's only one or two matches I'm really looking forward to. And then all the other matches are just like probably going to be good matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is one where I'm all like I was looking the most forward to LA Knight and Grimes that time. Looking at this, I'm like, fuck, all these guys do it the way that I like to see it done. So it's like, I'm so excited for this takeover.
Yeah. For me, there's only 4 matches I really kind of want to watch. and it'll be those three, and then Dakota and Raquel. Other than that, I don't used to see anything.
Yeah, what else?
Well, MSK, but
MSK, right?
Yeah, that's true. MSK. Damn, this is a really good card. This is a very good card.
Yeah,
I think that's the only 4 matches actually announced for Takeover right now. Are the 4 you want to see? Because the tag titles match is next week, and so is the cruiserweight title.
That's right.
Yeah, but there's a good chance that we end up with MSK in a match at Takeover, either on the kickoff or otherwise. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm all like, these are all my favorite people in matches. This is incredible, and I don't usually think about.
One more.
Oh, you know what? They announced the Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. So
I'm like 50-50 on that.
That's a snooze fest for me.
Yeah. So who the fuck do you put in the headline? You know what I mean? Like, fuck. As much as
they're gonna put that in the headline because there's a steel cage.
Yeah, that's the main event right there.
Yeah, but realistically, you look at the other matches and like those are bigger deals. You know what I mean? This is just some shitty fucking grudge match. Like, and at the end of the day, I get it. Like Adam Cole's a big deal to NXT, but to me, if he closes the show, I might watch the main event a different day. I might get to that point and say, all right, I'm done for the night. I'm going to pack it up and finish that match later, because, the other ones are so much more important to me.
And I hope Peacock isn't going to be a stupid cock and they get their shit together.
Right?
That's a good point.
Dear God, not again.
Yeah, definitely a good point. Anything else you guys thought we missed on any of these shows?
No. I'm curious to see tomorrow night Rampage, because we're gonna have some of the matches will be interesting. Again, I really hope that Britt Baker loses in her hometown. That would be great.
That'd be
funny.
hysterical.
Yeah, just because I love that kind of shit. It's petty. It's great. We're supposed to see Ricky Starks and Brian Cage kind of talk. That'll be very interesting. Hope Ricky wears shoes and not fucking slides. Anyway. That's funny. I don't even know what else. Oh, wait. Oh, but then we got stupid Christian, and that's boring.
There is a big rumor that this is where CM Punk makes his debut.
Why?
Debut him here and build him towards All Out.
No.
There's been so many different things for CM Punk debuting. It's been Rampage. It's been The First Dance. It's been All Out. It's been...
What?
The WWE even did a freaking nice little tease themselves on YouTube. They uploaded a Daniel Bryan match in full, and they uploaded a CM Punk match too. And I was like, just imagine if they actually signed with WWE instead.
Yeah.
Be so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. I would love it because of the fact that the amount of dirt sheets that said it is all but confirmed. So I would love it if it was different. But at the same time, it is big news wherever he goes. So I was talking about this with Kev just a little bit, so I want to get your guys' input on it just real quick before we wrap up the show here. If they've already sold out all the tickets at All Out, we know that. So do you bother to bring out CM Punk before All Out, or you just let him come out at All Out, have the huge hometown crowd pop of his first debut, have him interfere or not interfere, but have him come out and be a presence? Or do you bring him out on this Rampage, like everyone's saying you will, just to pop the rating of, see, Rampage is important. You're going to want to watch that. Guys like CM Punk show up. And then it sets the precedent that you need a CM Punk debut on every Rampage.
So I think the Christian announcement was their way to pop the rating was their way of trying to pop the rating for Rampage. I think Punk either debuts at First Dance, or that they're showing the 20th First Dance, or at All Out after the world title match. The freaking Kenny's standing in there, and then the freaking music hits, and everyone loses their shit.
Okay.
And I just sit there and go, all right, get ready to watch everybody just fucking go insane and not stop talking about CM Punk for the next year and a half.
Yeah. I will mute everybody.
Oh, that's a good point.
I have no interest in Punk. I just don't.
Me neither.
Hashtag Team Banana.
I don't care about him at all, but I do recognize that it is a big deal and it is going
he's
to
a big
be
draw.
it is going to be a big talk, and it is really exciting. I mean, the idea of him coming back, as much as I don't care and I'm not invested, it doesn't mean a ton of people aren't, right?
Yeah.
So I never connected with him as a character ever, or a wrestler, or even a person, or even after he was a wrestler when he was just doing all these interviews. He never said or did anything that ever made me go, you know what, this guy seems all right. More than anything, I think that if he comes back, regardless of the company he comes back to, it's for the love of money and not, or the big fuck you is what I was saying earlier. I think he would love to say fuck you to the WWE and pop up in AEW more so than he loves the idea of wrestling at all. He hasn't done anything even remotely close to wrestling since he left, and wasn't even watching, and openly would say, yeah, I don't watch wrestling. I don't have anything to do with it. Didn't start watching wrestling again until he started being on backstage. And now if he does this, it's for the money and the fuck you. It's not because of his undying love for wrestling. I don't believe that for a second, based off of what he has said in different things. So that's my take on it. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't. Punk, like I said it before, Punk's just the only reason why he'd come back is for the money. He doesn't give a fuck about fans. He doesn't give a fuck about the business. It's just whatever the fuck benefits him. He just has anything that benefits him, and that's all he fucking cares about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, what's your take?
Yeah, hit the nail on the head. I mean, if you can turn on your best friend, someone who's had your back like that, how he did, yeah,
That's
yeah. I mean, it just kind of is like, damn, dude, it's all about you. Always has been, and people's true colors come out. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Command is pretty true. I'm like, no, that's not the point of it, because back then, I mean, now it's different, but back then, I mean, he was, doing indies. Like, he didn't go back. He wasn't back at Ring of Honor yet, or if he did, when he did go back, it's like maybe wrestling once in a blue moon, and then that's when they put him on commentary when they lost everybody. I mean, Carino went to WWE, and I don't remember who else was on the mic then, but yeah. So that's when we got Ian Riccaboni, and then all of a sudden you have Cole Cabana with him, and not. But I will say that
Corey Graves has mentioned before. I want to say it was on Twitter or in an interview somewhere. He talked about his falling out with CM Punk, where it was not so much a falling out, so much as Punk just ghosting him. He's like, I thought we were close. We talked about our families. We talked about our kids. We spent time together. He's like, I thought we were close friends. And he walks away from the business and tells me to delete his number. Like, we were.
Yeah, he did it with Hornswoggle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not
a lot
mistaken.
of guys were just kind of like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so it's like.
Yeah. And then I think the ultimate one for a lot of people was hearing about the stuff that happened with him and Cole. I think that was the big one where a lot of people were like, well, you're really a fucking asshole. But, again, like I said, but one thing that would be interesting to come out of it, if it would happen, is his old lady.
Yeah.
You think his wife would come back?
Oh, dear God.
I've only really want to see her wrestle Tessa Blanchard, to be quite honest.
I don't think she'll come back. I think she's just done with wrestling.
She used to want to come back. Someone was, but that was a long time. That was years ago.
I think she's done wrestling.
Yeah.
She's got her hands in so many other things. I would say that if she came back, it would be also for the fuck you of it, which is a big fan base for the AEW. The fuck you fan base, that's a huge part. I feel like, I think Kevin mentioned it once, and I thought it was really cool because he says that it doesn't feel like anybody who's watching AEW is passionately in love with wrestling. They just passionately hate WWE, the way that they talk about it. And also, I guess if you got to pick a passion, say what, Justin?
I said, well said, Kev, because that's fucking true.
It's so true.
Yeah. It's not for the love of wrestling. It's for the hate of WWE, and that's what's bizarre about it. And I think that's why the discourse is what it is, and why the conversations get so weirdly one-sided real fast and become so mob mentality of it is like, we're doing this for the hate of WWE, not for the love of wrestling. That's why they don't see anything wrong with it ever. It's why they can't see the blemishes. It's why they can't acknowledge that criticism is fair. because it's not about that. It's not about a superior wrestling product. It is about a not WWE product. So I think that actually CM Punk and AJ Lee would absolutely fit that narrative and fit right in. But I think a couple things. I think, for one, if Punk shows up, I'm excited for the wrestling business in general, and I'm curious to see what he does. Am I invested in carrying in him? No. I'll probably listen to what he has to say the first promo or two, but we'll see how it plays out, right? What I would really like to see is Punk go out there and say a bunch of shit about AEW and talk shit about how he's just there to get the money, and talk about he doesn't care about any of these people, talk about how everyone's beneath him, and really get some heel heat by talking shit on AEW within the company to see the kind of heat that he could garner. Because I bet you he could get like Matt Cardona heat over there if he was if he was coming in as their savior and actually turned out to be a WWE guy. You know what I mean? Like, people would be fucking pissed, and I think it'd be so fucking cool.
I don't think Punk would do it as well as Matt Cardona has.
It's probably true.
No, I don't think so.
That's
Not because I hate the guy, but I just don't think so. Because Cardona, man, that took that shit to another level.
He's a master.
I mean, yeah, like I've been at GCW shows, and I know that crowd is like intense. And now it's gotten the people now who like to complain about WWE, they're pro AEW. There were a lot of noobs apparently in LA, from what I was told. And there was like, they don't understand the etiquette. Like, you don't, just because Nick Gage comes out, y'all don't have to like swarm the man,
Yeah.
It is a very exciting entrance. Yeah, I get that, but you don't have to do that. And it's very dangerous too, when you got light tubes and, glass panes of glass and all of that shit. It's not, you got to be on your toes. You can't.
They literally give them the warning before he comes out. Don't they?
But here's the thing: if you're going to a show that has deathmatch, you already know going into it that there's going to be all this stuff. Regardless of who it is, it could be like, it could be Jimmy Lloyd, it can be G Raver, it could be anybody. But people don't understand that. I mean, people don't move when they see a wrestler coming at them over the barrier. They don't move. That one I hate, because it's like, not only can they injure you, but you can injure the wrestler.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I've been caught up like that because people didn't want to move, and I accidentally kicked someone in the head. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And they're like, I'm fine. I go, well, at least I wasn't wearing heels with
Oh, Spike. Justin, is there anything you wanted to say to close out the show? Anything that you think that we missed, you want to make sure we talked about?
No, I think we got what we needed to cover.
Do you want to tell people where they can find you? Hang out with the Don of our side of the IWC.
You can find me on Twitter, JustinTime211. You'll see me popping in and out, and I don't really go on Twitter like too much. I don't stay on there because all the crazy bullshit that goes on.
Yeah, but he is unfiltered, and he is honest, and he is there when he's watching wrestling, so he's definitely worth the listen. And he does find a way of bringing together like-hearted people who may not be of the same mindset, but who have the same intentions and the same willingness to discourse, and we all appreciate that with the Don of the IWC right there, just in time. Amanda
Come and join us.
Yeah, come and join us. Amanda Jane, you want to tell people where they can find you too?
Y'all can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Miss Amanda Jane. I want to comment on that because honestly, like with the IWC, my big thing is this. I'll give you my take. Is you might not like people because of whatever, but there is some kind of, I think, common decency and respect that we should have towards each other, because we like the same thing. We're not all going to like who you like, who everyone likes. I know I like people that people don't like. There are a lot of people that I do not like that everybody loves, and I don't get it. But I don't sit there and, bitch about it and whatever, I'm like, that's just my opinion, and I don't know. I just think that we should do better. If you don't like somebody, don't fucking talk to them. Don't follow them. Don't read their shit. Don't, if they block you, don't, go find their tweets, and see what they're talking about you. No, don't care. Just move on. Find other people who enjoy what you enjoy and that you like talking to. That's all.
I mean, you saw it here earlier. Me and Amanda just went on a tirade about how awful we thought all the Gargano stuff was. We pitched it to Justin. He goes, I thought it was hilarious and I really enjoyed it. I would watch it again, given any second. We're like, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The idea is that's the discourse, is we're all here as drinking buddies. We're all here as pals to have a couple of drinks, talk about this wild world of wrestling that we all love, and have a difference of opinion and be able to make fun of each other, poke fun at each other, and have no ill intent towards each other. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with jabbing at Justin for liking Gargano when we don't, as long as we aren't serious about it. But people take that shit serious, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, no, we're just having fun. We're having drinks here. And you know what? Justin will be back. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know why, but he will be back. That is his ethos.
I was going to ask Justin to convince me why I should like it and not hate it.
That's a good point. We used to do that to Clump, Justin, when because he was our resident AEW expert when it first started, and me and Kev would find a thing that happened in AEW that we thought was ridiculous, and we'd go, defend this shit, Clump. Used to fucking make him do it.
Oh, jeez.
We should have done that to you. Defend this shit, Justin.
Oh, God.
But it was all in good fun. Right. It was all good fun. We all had drinks, and we came back another day because it's fun, and we take it seriously, but we aren't serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I do take seriously is, having really great, marquee matches that get you really excited and gets everyone excited, and not only just that, good storylines, but above all, just things that don't make us look stupid. A lot of wrestling, a lot of shows and a lot of promotions do that. And I'm like, people aren't as dumb as you think. So quit being carny.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Guys, I think we've done I think we did it. I think we did an episode 1 to the best of our ability. Mm-hmm. I think we will be back for another episode 1.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's at Miss Amanda Jane with a Y. That over there is at JustinTime211. I am at Ref Marsh. We are at WOTR, the show, Wrestling on the Rocks, where every show is our first show. And we hope you come back next week for a brand new episode 1 right here in the dive bar of the IWC. Guys, that's last call.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.